You know what I mean?
Like
off a microphone.
like holding a
Report like a
reporter's microphone.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Oh, we're live. Hello, Game of the Year, folk. I started recording that, by the way.
Oh.
Talking about the show.
Talking about the microphone.
I know it doesn't even have a handle. But it looks like I have a microphone on. So yeah, another year has passed. Another Game of the Year show, except this is like the pre-show. We got the rando on.
Don't even get the main event.
No, you're not game of the event. Game of the
event.
You're not game of the event.
Oh God, cut that.
I don't know. You can cut that. I don't have an edit. But yeah, we have a pre-show. We're doing a pre-show this year, and then we got. I'll be doing the main show with Wendy then in a couple of weeks' time, where I'll go through my Game of the Year. But this one is the pre-show where we talk about Adam's Game of the Year stuff. And you have a selection of your top 3 games.
Yes.
You have a Games Gang game.
Yes, included in that.
That's included in that. You have a Slop of the Year award.
I have a terrible game in here as well.
The Sloppy Floppy award, we've dubbed it.
In the artwork I've done, I've slyly thrown it in there as it possibly being one of the best games of the year, but it's not. It's the Sloppy Floppy.
Wait, so it could be the best game of the year.
No, but it's in with the rest of the games of the year.
Oh,
I'll show you it right here on the artwork.
Oh, we have the artwork. We'll put that up on. Oh, yes, it's to throw the eye of the reader.
Throw people off.
You'll see this. It'll be in the medium in the link on the description. But
this game would probably be a lot of people's game of the year, and it's my worst game of the year.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a lot of pushback on it online posts that. But we'll get to that. See what I mean? This it's happening already. This thing could be the entire thing. Like we could talk about this game for the entire thing, because I know what your game is. You showed me just before we started the show. So, but in either case, then we also got at the end of the show. Then we got our future Frother, the game that we're frothing over. We each have one of those. It'll be.
Did we decide on that name? This is my show.
Yeah, I made the artwork for it. So I signed off on it. So yeah, we got then a game we're looking forward to. There are so many games we're each looking forward to, but I've chosen one that I'm looking forward to, and that actually, the key decider of that is it actually has to have a release date. You know, it can't just be perpetually. It has to have some sort of insight. It can't just be Silk Song.
Yeah,
that doesn't even exist.
No.
And it can't be like Hades, because that doesn't exist yet really either. They've said spring 24, but that's like early access. That's like an announcement to go into early. But this is like we have a definitive. It has a release date in the future, so it's something. But nonetheless, we'll get into it. We're going to be chatting about your game 3. Whoa! Oh! I skipped ahead a bit there. But editor, cut that. So we got the game 3. So yeah, have you got anything to say this before I introduce? Before we bring it up?
This was the Games Gang Game of the Year. So I think we played at the start of the year, but it was phenomenal, and it beat out all the other games that we played this year. We got a list of all of the other games the Games Gang went through, but this one definitely took the top, and it is.
It would be
Synthetic.
No. No. That's Synthetic. But at least you know now that Ship of Fools is coming in some shape or form. Synthetic. Yes. So if you want to get into a bit more why it shows this as.
God. Yeah, it was. I think myself and you and Luke put a lot of hours into this. You more so than any of us. But yeah, it was just the absolute chaotic nature of the entire thing. just killing yourself with your own guns, or just getting a gun so big you can breeze through the entire thing. Yeah.
So just to preface this, that you've also chosen.
Oh yeah.
That's like the main thing. It's not like, you know.
Main thing difference between my review and your review is that these are games that I played this year.
Not necessarily
released this year, because this is my review. There are games I want to play.
This is my show.
Mine. So yeah, that's also this game. So there could be some fairly old games in here.
Yeah, which is fair. That's fair. I mean, isn't it good value to go back 5-6 games that were released 5 or 6 years ago, and then play those and get them for like dirt cheap instead of spending €60, which is now €70.
Yeah.
As opposed. So yeah, I think that is probably it is probably worth it. And there's so many good games released in the last 5, 6, 7 years that are going for like hits.
The old €7 special.
Yeah, I did play a lot of the €7 special. We've come up with this kind of like not a formula, but I would say it's like more of a sort of a price where we've seemed to hit this sort of threshold of instant game to goal, and that is that's sweet €7.
€7.
Yeah,
the best games.
I mean, your game of the year.
That's €70.
No. There's no game is worth €70.
My game of the year last year was €7.
And your game of the year this year, which you're showing me off.
Oh wait, yeah,
is also €7.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And this game was €7.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
We got this on cheap for €7.
Oh wow, yeah. Okay. I didn't notice that there was so much of a trend.
Yeah. This is.
And my least favorite game of the year was €70. So there's a trend here. Yeah.
But yeah, Synthetic, absolutely insane. I played it well this year. Yeah, I just love that. I actually played it a lot without co-op.
Yeah.
I just played it a lot. I didn't play online. I didn't play it, co-op with or a game gang. I just played it myself a lot, like 130 hours.
Is it?
But I got, I
thought you were just naturally good at it or something.
Yeah, I am. 130 hours good at it. You gotta put in the time, put in the grind, you know?
Any specific memories from this one?
No, I don't think so, but I think I think it's just recently I got like some the game is very like luck based as well, so you can have a good run, but I think a lot of it does come down to the luck of the draw, as well as obviously a skill, but you do reach a certain ceiling where you need to get a good run, the best weapons, the best.
Yeah.
And it is a rogue, so getting kind of having a go, keep having. But yeah, recently I have like one achievement left against the game, and I recently finished the game with the 200%. I have so many memories. We have so.
Well, I've only finished it one time, so.
And then once is enough.
Once was the one and done. Yeah.
The one and done king.
That was enough. The last level had me. It scarred me from playing it again. So I think I uninstalled it after the first time.
But I do recommend the game. But you have some other games that weren't sin. It's like runners up of your games gang.
Runners up for the games gang. A lot of them we played recently. One of them is Ship of Fools, of course.
I mean, editor, cut that out. So that just happened to come up. Oh, also, I gotta say, like, on camera here, we have our Christmas drinks. You did have your Christmas drink.
Yeah, and then I drank like 4 cups of Bailey's tea, and now...
You're well
no, cut that. I mean Bailey's coffee. People get angry when I say tea.
Bailey's tea?
Yeah.
Wait, what you mean?
Because you're not supposed to drink with tea.
Are you not?
Yeah, people fucking hate me when I drink. Oh no, I curse. Can we curse this thing? Cut that.
Yes, you can curse.
Yeah, when I drink it with tea, because people are like, well, no, it's Bailey's coffee. And I was like, well, yeah, but it's like 8 p.m. I'm not drinking endless cups of coffee in this hour. Like,
No, that's like an Irish coffee,
yeah, yeah.
but just with Bailey's in it.
Yeah.
A Bailey's Irish coffee.
No, an Irish coffee is whiskey in it.
Oh, like Jameson.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and this is that.
No.
This is just the Bailey's in.
Well,
with
first
the
of all,
coffee.
this is just Bailey's.
And it's not even a coffee, it's a tea.
It's about tea. Well, I'm not drinking a cup of coffee now.
But I will drink 4 cups of tea at 9 p.m. But I have a malt punch, of course. But it's piping hot. Actually seared my lips earlier. Yeah.
I'm not piping hot anymore. It took like 3 hours to set this up.
I'm delighted now that Adam's seen this. It's a testament to effort goes into making these videos and the amount of things that could possibly go wrong in them. So much things to gather. So many audio problems. All audio, really.
But back to the show.
But here's to Mold Point. Merry Christmas. Ship of Fools. You're like a runners up game.
Runners up. Yeah.
What was it about Ship of Fools then?
I think Ship of Fools took so long to get into because when we first started playing it, it didn't really start with a lot of content. But then as it got updated, there was actually a lot more stuff added to the game, which definitely added a lot more to it as well. Especially with the lighthouse, it gave like not just like finishing one run and then being done with the game. You could like actually progress, and like there was levels to add difficulty or heat, like in Hades, so you could actually do more runs and made more sense and more boats and more characters. So when we first started playing, there wasn't really any of that. But yeah, then the game itself is actually just brilliant. Especially when it's incredibly unbalanced and you can one-shot the final boss a couple of times. But
Game is a bit unbalanced. But that's not to say though, or to take away from the fact that of how good it is.
I don't know, it's unbalanced.
It is. It's
I
better.
don't want the game to be broken.
Yeah,
just let some. Come on.
I want to be this ungodly, powerful being in a game. Just let us have that fantasy. Just let us have it. Yeah, but I would agree with you. I mean, when Ship of Fools first launched, I think it was in March, around March or early this year, and I distinctly remember it being there being a. I think it was about like €15, but I remember there being not much to do after you beat, and there wasn't really that much to unlock as well. And I actually, looking back now, considering what they did add, I honestly consider they didn't launch just for clarity. They did not launch, but I do consider that game to have launched, because when the Lighthouse update actually came out, which was like update for the year. They added so many new features. They added the difficulty system that added so much replayability.
Making sense that you can play the game again.
Yeah, exactly. Who would have thought you'd want to play a roguelite again? But by doing that, they also at the same time they increased the price of the game up from €15 to €22.
That's pretty scabby.
Yeah, it's a hard recommend, I think, to people who are not playing this in multiplayer. Because the game is
the game is specifically made. The game isn't made to be played with one person.
I don't think so. No, but they also, in that big major update, they also added not just like the replayability goals and objectives. They also added boats, and the new boats each had their own replayability. And goals that you aim for.
They actually add so much replayability that I couldn't even fathom playing the game that many times.
Yeah, it's almost like it's kind of like unmerited replayability. It's almost like it's turned into a grind. Yeah,
to unlock certain things for the ship, you'd have to beat the game like 15 times with that ship. With just one ship, and now there's 4. And it went from having no replayability to like, come on, I'm not going to play the game that much.
But it's funny, we're talking about it being us being ungodly powerful beings in the game, making it think like we could win every time. But honestly, the game is kind of weirdly set up where it's one fell swoop and you can be cleaned out, one kind of cycle in a level, and then you're done.
Yeah.
If you don't get off to like a good start in the with the good RNG and stuff, you can set yourself up
Yeah.
where you need to get the
Well,
good
even if you
relics in
do
there.
have good items and you get lucky enough to get good items, you could still just be, just unfairly, just lose in unfair ways. The game definitely feels unpolished, especially in like certain things, like animations on certain bosses don't animate on the screen properly, so you don't know where their hitboxes start and end, so you can just end up getting hit by something without even knowing if there was something there. So definitely doesn't feel polished.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and it is a great game. And
It
I know
is
we're
definitely
wailing on
better
it, but
now.
like, it is really fun.
It is
Co-op
fun,
modes are fun, and we were screaming and shouting at.
but we're not.
enemy.
I feel like everything we're saying is more so ways, more like more like criticism on like the ways that the game could be better, not exactly like, because there's games on this list that I can definitely go in on, but I'm not going in on this game. It's just a little bit unpolished, but it definitely is a good game.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be. It's not made for single player. Does it have online co-op as well?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it feels like this would need to be couch co-op to
Yeah.
get the most out of it.
Yeah, I don't think it just has regular. I don't even think the game is. Yeah, like you said,
I don't even think the game would work with
just-
a random.
there's so much coordination. Like,
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
going to man cannons? Who's going to swap over what? Like the north and south and stuff. Like, it just doesn't really make sense. It's just a random plane with no microphone.
Yeah, there's no way of playing this way.
But you have another game as well.
It's whatever comes up next.
This random medley of games we have.
Yeah. I can barely remember this game, but I still put it on the list because it was great when we played it. But it would have been around this time last year that we played it, because I finished my review at the end of November, and then anything that I play in December just gets added into next year. Yeah, this was great.
Yeah.
This was good. This is good fun. Just pretty, classic Nintendo game, but I just feel like every Nintendo sports Mario game should just be rolled into one all-star bundle again. Yeah, money. Just money. A bundle pack, and then just be done with it. Like, you could fire it up like Mario All-Stars or something, and then it's like tennis, golf, the football. Just put them all in one game. Not like €45 each, because it's fun. It was great, but there wasn't that much replayability to it at all. There was 2 tournaments. Well, no, there was like 4 tournaments or something with 2 difficulties. Then after that, there's not really that much to do.
No, there was no like extra mode, and there was obviously an arcade mode. There's no like game mode. There's no.
No, there was no arcade. It was like there was a tournament mode. Was it like a multiplayer mode? There was a versus mode,
yeah.
and then there was a tournament,
Like
which you could also a campaign that you could also play in multiplayer with other people. But there was no arcade mode with like different game modes of like
mini games stuff.
Yeah, like just the tweaking the settings and exactly.
tweaking
Like in Smash Bros, where you can go into the settings and be like, I want all Smash Ball things, or like all Pokeballs or something. There's nothing like that.
No, but at
This
the
is
same
how they
time-
could all be bundled together.
Yeah, exactly.
Because by itself, I wouldn't buy these games. They're so expensive, and you don't get that much out of them.
But at the same time, this game was incredible, and there's surprisingly a lot of depth in the game.
Yeah,
There's, I mean, there's so many like
a lot of mechanics in it.
Yeah, there is a lot of in it, and especially when you get like your ultra ability and you're like trying to score. And stuff,
Yeah,
and then
you're
you
setting off like an anime style cutscene where you destroy half the pitch.
Yeah, and I love
it's
that.
great.
And that's great because there is actually a lot of depth in the learning.
Did it have online play?
It did have online, like you could play randos like on a matchmaking on a team.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. I remember seeing some of the clips and.
No. For as small as I feel like game was, you're always gonna get that sweaty player base where there'll be like one team or one person who's just
played it for
600 hours.
5,000 hours. only play Mario Strikers, but still recommend it. It's still really good. But
even the tournament that we got out of it,
yeah,
because we played it's 4-side, I think, and we played 4 of us against the 4-player computers, and that was grand. It was good when we were playing like the easy mode, and then we moved on to the hard mode, and the difficulty spike was absolutely insane. But we actually won, and I remember it was insane. The matches are good, and like you generally go crazy when you actually score. But after the tournament, there's not really that much to it, and I can't really see sitting down and playing like a 2v2 like match or a 1v1 match against. It's not like FIFA.
Yeah,
or
no,
something.
it's not really. Oh yes, it is not like FIFA. It's way more arcadey than.
Yeah.
And that's a shame, because I feel like we got everything out of this game,
And it didn't take that long.
I was just about to say that there's a weird disparity in the game in the sense that I feel like we got everything out of it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it
And
is
was great.
not worth
But it's just so
€50
short.
or
No.
it wasn't a full price. Enough, like.
No, yeah, well, it was close enough, alright.
Yeah. But and then moving on, we have another game.
Yeah. This is actually the opposite of any Nintendo game ever made. It's the jankiest budget Mario Party I've ever seen, and I actually enjoy it. It's way more than Mario Party.
Why do you enjoy it more?
It's just so broken, but it's great. I mean, yeah, we have way more of a laugh on this. Like I think just continuing the mini games or continuing the messing on the board and getting items that you can shoot at each other across the board. Yeah, it being really broken. The mini games, some of them don't really work.
I feel like this, if it feels harsh, but if a better team, a team with more money, like if they say like a AA,
It feels like a college project.
it actually does. It feels very budget. It feels like, baby's
But
first.
is that its charm? Is that what's good about it though?
I think that is part of its charm.
I mean, we
actually.
played it a lot.
We did. We played it a bit. I feel like it's more, because I think we played every single map, most of them, not maybe 8 maps.
The last time I played it, I was looking at a lot of the maps. I haven't played them yet.
Oh really? Oh
Yeah.
Well, maybe there are. And there's a big community. Really
Yeah.
good mods.
Yeah,
that make boards.
They are really good.
And a lot of them, obviously, because Squid Games was so.
I was
They
literally just
rip
thinking
off
that. Yeah.
the Squid Games kind of style, like motive games,
Yeah.
which is good though.
No, yeah, it's good. You can make whatever you want.
Yeah.
Some of them work, some of them don't work.
Yeah.
But I mean, to compare it to Mario Party, it's just Mario Party had, again, put it in some sort of super like all-star bundle. There was only like 4 maps, but this had like 8. But you can also get mods, and there's mini games. People are making mini games. It just seems to be a whole load of stuff there that you can. There's a lot of content in it, even though it's janky and broken.
It is. But I think, like you're saying, that does add to. It's not janky in a sense that it has bugs and it's glitches.
Yeah.
Like it's game break or crash.
No.
It's janky in a sense that it's not polished. Like animations are very basic. The menu, it does look like, I'm sorry to say, like it just looks very basic. You're right. That is part of the. And I was thinking of it. Why is this more than a Nintendo Mario? And I think it's because of the overworld game map. Mini games are actually really good. In fairness to
work.
the official,
Yeah.
they are really. But it's the overworld.
Which is nothing. Yeah.
You
You're just
can't-
waiting for
you
someone
just-
to take their go.
Exactly. Yes, you're waiting for some. Which I still think that concept can be developed on. Whereas on Pummel Party, I find that there is so much to do because you can collect items and
Yeah,
coins,
weapons.
which is fine. But you can use traps, set traps. You can use items. You can shoot somebody across the map. You can set a load is on them. You can set missile attack. You can set traps where they stand on it, or
Yeah,
if they
the wrecking
fire,
ball.
You can get wrecking ball. So you also have health in,
Yeah, to the graveyard, and you lose your coins.
and you lose.
There's also I don't know if this comes with the base game or if it was like a mod that we had added, but you can change the rules in the overmap as well. So
Yeah.
you can change, like, you can be like one shot kill, or you can put like mystery chests. So you could put like 3 chests or stars on the map, and you don't know which one is real. So people are running all over the map.
Yes.
So you can actually change a lot of the stuff in the overworld as well. I don't know how many mini games they have in Mario Party, but I feel like I've played maybe 5 of them like 50 times, and there's ones in there that I've never seen.
Yeah.
Can you do that? You can't do that in Mario Party, can you? Filter out games that you don't want to see?
Can you do it in All Stars?
No. They have a section where it's like when you're starting the game, and it says all mini games, classic mini games, so ones from the older games, or like, I don't know, they have like, yeah, puzzle shit ones like that.
Yeah.
But like, just give me a list and let me just deselect all the ones that I don't want to use.
Smash Bros.
Yeah.
See, they can't just give us Smash Bros. And not give us
And
that
then
again.
not any of the other
But we're
games.
saying that Smash Bros. Is the best game ever made. Moving on. No, but that's just to say that Pummel is, and it's crazy cheap as well.
Yeah.
Like it's that magic threshold. It was about £8.
Yeah.
Oh yes, so you're a bit late to the with this
Very late to the party.
compared to myself. But what did you think of it?
Yeah, it was great. Perfect couples game. I don't really have that much to say about it anymore, because I think I played it at the start of the year, and then I also don't think I think I played it with you for a bit, did I?
We did play the first couple of chapters.
And I also played the first couple of chapters again, and then once again didn't finish it. So I played the first half of the game twice, but I can't finish it. But once you feel like the game's coming to an end, and then it adds another 4 chapters on at the end. You're like, oh god.
But for me, this was my game of the year. This is my runner-up, second.
Yeah,
Because I just
yeah, it's great.
There's just something about it. I didn't mind that there were chapters. In fact, I was craving more chapters. I felt that it never outstayed. No, I never felt that it ever outstayed its welcome. I was always like hungry for finish that.
Just didn't have time to finish it. It is great though. Like, you got like mini games to play against each other. All of them, like mechanics, all of the. Yeah, each new level introduces a new mechanic, and then the two, like, each character has something different that works with each other. So yeah, it works pretty well. That they obviously have to use teamwork to get through the things then. But yeah, no, it's great, and it just looks like a Pixar movie. It looks incredible. Well, it did when I was playing it with you. It looks terrifying on the Switch.
Oh,
Hey, yeah, it's
like
terrifying.
a Vaseline smeared screen.
Yeah, the
They
daughter
got the
in
Vaseline out.
the daughter in it looks like a demon. It just does not look good on Switch.
Not good. Then you also have
Yeah. This was recent, and it was free. Yeah, this was great. Even though I only had one really good session on it. But yeah, there's a lot to this. It starts off kind of like really chaotic bullet hell, and then as you play it, it kind of gets more strategic, and you have to plan where you breach into spaceships. Yeah, so the idea is, because I think we only sat down and played it once, and I played a lot of it with Luke. So yeah, the idea is you need to salvage these ships. You gear up before you go in, so you spend money on how much equipment you're going to use to bring into a place, and then you have the map of like the ship that you're going into, and you need to always take out like a system, like the core system of that ship. But there's just like tons of enemies and turrets, and there's loads of other systems that like they can like spawn new enemies or put shields up, or like door controls and turrets and all this other stuff. So yeah, it kind of quickly becomes more about what systems you need to take offline first, and then how you can get in and out of the ship as quick as possible, because you start getting overwhelmed, because we failed our first couple of runs very quickly. So then we had to start to planning where we breach in, and then it becomes more like a space heist. You have a plan before you have your equipment, and you have a plan before you go in, where you're gonna extract from. Then you fly around the ship and come in through another door. Yeah, it's great, and it's just absolute chaos.
Yeah, I think I only really played this are still trying to learn that this is now, it's actually a space heist, not like an action adventure game. It's more like, it's like a hit and run guerrilla warfare type of game.
You're not going in clearing the entire ship and taking your time, because the faster you clear a ship, the more money you get back, and money means more equipment for the next run as well. And also money means health as well, because if you lose a ship, you need to have enough money to pay for equipment to do another run. So yeah, the faster you do it, the more money you get. But I see where you're coming from, where you're taking your time clearing the ship. Yeah, you need to get in there fast.
Okay. See, I
did not explain this though.
So I went from like 0% to 100. You had already digested and were able to spit out and spew this kind of like strategy, where to go, what objectives to hit first.
Mm-hmm. Or even what the icons for the objectives even were.
Even what the icons were. In fact, that was one thing. I didn't even know what the icons meant on this ship. So that was extremely overwhelming. And not to say it turned me on. It's not to say it's a bad game. It is actually good, and it's old, and you can see it shows its age. I think it was 15. But maybe I'm wrong. But if I'm not wrong and it was 2015, or if I am wrong, it wasn't, and it was like even.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It for me, it just didn't quite hit it. It made sense.
Yeah, not to say on Cryptback, I only played it a bit, but it is free, and I could definitely see getting into it a bit more.
Death Road to Canada.
Death Road to Canada.
Oh, back to Winnipeg.
Back to Winnipeg. Yeah, this is great. This is a lot of the games on this are very recent. Cryptark, Ship of Fools, we only really got into with that last content update, and Death Road to Canada, we've only done maybe 3 or 4 runs in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so simple. But yeah, there's a lot going on in it, and it's just great. Yeah, it's just great crack.
Yeah, Death Road plays like a real kind of early day kind of roguelike.
Yeah.
In a sense that it's just, you can see the blueprint for it set for games to come after.
Yeah.
I didn't realize at the time, but the game is actually overwhelming reviews on Steam. It's like an indie darling.
Yeah.
It's like a cult classic. And I can see why as well.
I can see why.
It kind of mixes the Oregon Trail with like a roguelite co-op multi friends. It's super replayable. That's the one thing about it. Oh my god! If
I can
Ship
see
of
why people
Fools was not replayable at then this like makes up for that tenfold.
This is there on the opposite. The Ship of Fools without that last content update, and this game the opposite. There's so much in this.
What I liked about Death Road to Canada is that there's very distinct different play styles in the game, and it doesn't really explain it in the game, but when you're playing co-op or multiplayer with your friends, there is so much communication that is needed or almost merit to get you through. The more communicated you are with your team, the better you will do with this.
Yeah.
Like if you're just going into mess, that's fine, but you're not going to get very far. Like, but if you have a swatted up team who is ready to go in there and listen to command, you are going to get far. Because the
game isn't made to be taken seriously either, though.
No, but that didn't stop you from taking it very seriously the last time.
We won on the last one.
Yeah, exactly. So we take it serious.
But it's meant to be a bit of a mess.
No, it is. It is meant to be a mess, and I think you can unlock things as you go on in the game. I think
me taking it seriously in the last round.
You were getting mad when we were like losing.
Losing what?
Like losing, getting like cheap hits, like, you know, if a zombie hit. But like I just felt like there were times where this wasn't being a very very messing game anymore. Like, okay, we're past like 60% in this game. Now it's time to like take it
It's
seriously.
because we were like on day like 12 or something. We're only like 3 days away from Canada,
Yeah.
and we were close to the end of the game. Like, oh, we could actually do it here.
Okay, let's get our military
Let's
boots
get
on
a
here and
little
actually
bit
try to
more
win this thing.
serious if we want to win it here.
But it is
Because
really
it
good.
started as a mess.
Oh, I think most runs do start as a bit of a mess,
Yeah,
which is good.
yeah.
'Cause
You should take it seriously.
So yeah, you should take it serious. But because it starts as a mess, you kind of could tell if you're starting to do well though, because certain weapons come up, you start getting like certain events, and you can get like traits and abilities that affect your character's their confidence, loyalty within a group.
There's actually a lot of statistics going on under the hood.
There is a lot, and so much so they don't explain that to you. You have to look it all up. Wiki, see what these things actually do. I swear we're not taking it serious though. So I swear it's just a
Are
messing
you
game.
taking this too seriously?
And is Death Road to Canada like an esport?
But you can take it as seriously as you want.
No, you're right.
But you can. There is stats there, and like there is a lot of like mechanics going on in the game that if you actually wanted to try and do well, you can
I think that,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, you can.
It's not all like random or like
No.
or anything like that. You can actually set out to do well as well if you want to.
No, you can
Want to.
because it allows you to random your character at the start of a run, or it allows very specific sets
Which
of.
we would never do because that'd be taking it too
That's
seriously.
taking it too seriously.
Too seriously.
I like to just random it
Until we get the one we want.
so we random it until we get the perk that we want. I swear it's not serious though, but I think that's part of the charm. That's why Death Road is so cool, because it is a mess, it is a joke, and there are so many culture references in it. It knows what it is,
Yeah.
and it knows
yeah.
what it's trying to do, and that's
I've
what I love about
seen
it.
at least 3 references.
There's a load of Simpsons references. I noticed those straight off.
Unless I'm just seeing Simpsons references everywhere now.
I should just making up them.
I'm just making them up as they go along.
Yeah.
Which I tend to do.
Yeah. All right. Nothing wrong with that. But that's what I think is cool about Death Road, because you can do it both ways. You can take it really seriously. No, you shouldn't. You can.
Shouldn't really.
Shouldn't really. Especially not at the start. Because
No.
the start is so.
Yeah.
Ammo you get. The events that.
If you make it to day 10,
and start taking it seriously.
then start taking it seriously.
Yeah. And the whole
Because you'd be
game falls
pissed.
apart if you don't have a car. So
Yeah, very quickly.
the aim of the game is that you're driving across country with a car, and you gotta you stop off, random event pop up, and then you get out, and you have to go into this kind of isometric view, and you have to slaughter zombies with guns, weapons, whatever you find, and you have to salvage food and fuel are the main kind of reason. Food to keep the gang going, and if your gang can't keep going, then they're gonna get lowered morale. And if they get lowered morale, then the game is essentially over. I believe that with the morale is almost the most important factor, because if you have no morale,
Like a health bar. Probably.
it is in a sense.
Even though we haven't seen what happens if the morale reaches 0.
Well, but we do get a lot. You lose your car, get resources, get all these bandits assault camp, assaulted car.
You have low morale, or
Yeah, when you've low morale, it affects the group outcomes. Events.
have you been looking things
No.
up on Wikipedia
No.
again? I had never heard about
I
this
just
before.
haven't-
What a weird thing to know.
No, that's not even. I didn't read that. That's just an observation that I made. Game.
Oh, well, maybe you can share these observations in the future.
I just think that morale affects everything in the game. Either way, Death Road to Canada, brilliant multiplayer. If you want to take it sweaty, if you want to take it serious, it's better if all the group take it serious or all the group take it messing, because if there's one very serious person in it, it is not going to go well. Not at all. Yeah, with that, I think that's all of
the end of
the bonus games in the Games Gang section, and then you have a number 2.
I do have a number 2.
So your second
Straight into my number 2.
Yeah.
Is
Your second game, I don't know. Straight in.
Battle Brothers. You played this as well.
I did.
Yeah, I have a full review here. This is actually one of probably the first review that I wrote that was actually insanely long. Really done a full in-depth review on this, and now I don't know what to say about it.
You were playing the game for a while.
Yeah.
And I played the game here, and I had a great time with it. But I think you were surprised by how much I had even.
I thought you'd played the game more.
Oh, I thought that the goldfish's friend thought. I thought that you would have thought that I played it less. But I actually played the same amount of hours as you, but never made it as far.
Oh, but you didn't finish the campaign.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, not everyone's gonna like this game.
No, I don't think so. So it plays like a top-down, turn-based strategy game. It's like a medieval simulator. It's like procedurally generated. Yeah. You take your group of mercenaries around a map, go to town, get quests. When you get the quests and contracts,
negotiate your pay, and then complete the contract, and then you buy new equipment, new brothers,
upgrade your
brothers, and you get like experience. You can upgrade each individual one, and then essentially just take a new contract and then continue that loop. So contract, pay, upgrade your things, and then just go from town to town, getting like random events and everything. But yeah, as you play, then the contracts get harder as your renown goes up. Proud goes up. The contracts will start getting harder as people start to like know who your company is. And then things will get harder. You work towards like ambitions of like promoting like sergeants within your group, and like making banners and like getting just bigger and bigger. And then there'll be like an end game crisis event, which I think there's like 4. And then you'll have to get over that, and then you win the game after you complete that end game crisis. But you can continue playing. I think there's 4 end game crises, and you could actually do all 4 of them in one run. But yeah, or after the first end game crisis, you can actually retire as well and then start a new game.
Okay.
That's the basic lowdown of the entire game. But yeah, the game, it's randomly generated, the map, everything. So yeah, as you were saying, you can kind of just build your own story of your company. If you have anything to say about it when you were playing it.
Yeah. So I can see why or how people could spend hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
Because one run could take 50 hours, and then or you could keep a run going. I was about 40 hours, and I felt like I was scratching the surface of it.
Yeah, I was 45 hours in I was 45 hours into my first campaign when I got the end game crisis, which is essentially finishing the game. If you want to end it there, you can.
Yeah.
So 45 hours in, and that was one run.
Yeah.
Run. But from reviews and like even like what the developers had said, I was looking when I was researching the game, when I was writing the review for it, and then a lot of the comments on like reviews on Steam and everything is that the general consensus is that Iron Man mode is the way the game should be played, which is disabling saving in a game that has 45 hours long runs.
Yeah.
Imagine being 40 hours into your campaign and then you lose in some, because you can get very unlucky as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that as well, just in the way that certain spawn. I mean, the game is extremely for a game that's
built on that, really.
Yeah. For a game that's meant to be Iron Man relentlessly. I mean, you could just come out of the fight, have a very with the most basic, like you could have your entire team of 12 would be shredded down to like 5 men that you've ever fought.
Yeah.
And then you walk
something else spawns in,
and then some dire wolves savage the rest.
Yeah.
You don't even have time to walk back.
The town.
Honest.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just-
Which is what happened in my first campaign.
Yeah.
When I wrote a little side story at the start of my review. But essentially I went from one fight immediately into another one without getting a chance to do anything and was destroyed.
I feel like Iron Man mode.
But I don't play in an Iron Man mode because yeah, you want to
Only an insane
continue.
person.
Yeah, you want to continue the campaign. I don't want to get wiped out and have to start again because it takes so long for a run to get going.
Yeah.
We start getting good equipment and like leveling your brothers up so they actually have skills and they can do things.
Yeah.
As you're just starting the campaign. Now I did go through a spell. So yeah, first of all, there's like 3 DLCs for this as well, and yeah, they're great. They're like, let's see, I have them here.
They add a lot of content to it.
They add tons. New weapons, yeah. Warriors of the North.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably the best one because it gives you starting options. So instead of just starting with like the random like tutorial one or not having anything start at all, I think you just start with like 3 random people. You can start in very specific like campaigns that have like a theme or something around them. Like you can start with one guy and he has all of the equipment in the world, and then you have to build your company around him, which is insanely difficult. Which I played that on Iron Man mode and didn't last at all.
Oh no.
Because yeah, the game works with fatigue, so one person can only take so many actions before they get tired. So with one person, you can essentially you can essentially just get so tired that you can't do anything else, and then you just die. But the game is built like XCOM, where there is a lot of like 95% chance hits that you miss. And when you're only controlling one person, missing with that attack is then the campaign over.
I know what you mean.
But you can also start as like cultists, and they get free recruits, and they can sacrifice people to get like boons in like their next fight. There's a ton of different, I think there's about 12 different campaigns that you can start with. You can get like the People's Army or something, so you can only hire peasants and not like anyone, so terrible soldiers essentially, but you can hire, instead of hiring 12, you can hire 24. So you can have a massive army of these terrible soldiers. Yeah, but it's great. There's Warriors of the North, there's the Beasts and Exploration, so this adds way more like fights and stuff, even though they're massively overpowered. It adds new monsters and everything, so yeah, there's just a lot in the game.
My favorite thing about the game perspective, then it is kind of like the Pokemon Nuzlocke challenges, you know. It's like you set like challenges or rules of yourself. This isn't a game, but I would start just loading the game. But I honestly don't want to spend 6 seconds.
Yeah. And this is why people have 100 hours in the game.
That's how exactly.
Which is fair enough. I can see how people can get that out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's the only game you're playing as your main game, and you, Jesus Christ, man, there's life going on over here. I want to play different types of games. Like, I don't have 1,000+ hours to put into Battle Bros. Although it does have the content.
It does have it there.
And there's loads to see. There's loads of rare weapons and mythic weapons you can find deep into.
The fights themselves are great. I never got bored of the fights though. The tactical fights game is great. Yeah, I got like shield walls.
Yeah,
very tactical. Yeah, it's a lot of mechanics that work well in it.
It works.
It's great.
It's just
pole arms, archers. Yeah.
That for me is like bang. Control Alt Delete my entire hard drive out the window, like, and then I just restart the entire combat, because then if that didn't go your way, then you'd lose 2 or 3 minutes. And I just back. If I ended up winning a game and lost, like, or had.
Yeah, true.
So that's where
I'm not that invested in it. You'd have to be incredibly invested in it at that point.
It's a game like,
but there's a lot of kind of like that's if you're that invested in it as well, that you'd want to be preparing yourself fully for every single fight if you're like on Iron Man mode. But like kind of having the safety net of being able to load it back, I tended to just turn my brain off a lot while I was playing. Kind of, because like I got so into the loop of like going to a town, get a contract, and then go to it. It was kind of just like easily going around the place. I wasn't too phased about losing anything or getting like decimated in a fight. Unless obviously you come across an incredibly difficult fight, but still.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot to love about Palworld, but there's a lot of frustration in it as well. And that's part of it. And I really did like a few things they can improve, and hopefully they do when the studio comes out with Menace,
yeah.
which I'm really excited for. It looks like a markedly different game to Babylon. Like I'd imagine there's still is some sort of overworld, and I don't know. They haven't released gameplay footage. The actual trailer they're showing, the game looks like almost strategy game.
Yeah, that was the difference that I seen.
Yeah. Maybe it's not. It could be a tactics game where it's turn-based, but
it did look like real-time strategy.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure.
But I haven't read.
It looked, even if it's not real-time and it turns out to be tactics, there.
Yeah, overall, yeah, great.
Yeah.
Great game.
Yeah.
It's easy to drop back into as well. Like I can see it just keeping it installed and dropping in for like campaign.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great dual run.
Even if I wasn't gonna put in 45 hours to finish the campaign, but
true.
Yeah.
But it's not multiplayer, it's only single. It is good to play as a dual run with a friend.
Yeah.
Like you could play it with someone.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Yeah, I think the same way as FTL is great for that. Having a dual run, doing them at the same time. Yeah, certain games are really good for that.
There was also I remember why I didn't. My first campaign, I got the Goblin end game.
Oh yeah.
The end game crises are very long. They're like so something will happen. So I literally like there's Goblin patrols everywhere, all over the map. You can't get from town to town. There's just they're everywhere. And then in this game, my last campaign, I got there's an undead crisis where essentially the same thing where there's just all of these, the map just gets overloaded with all of these different like undead roaming the map, patrols roaming everywhere, and you have to kill a certain amount of them, kill certain sites that are like spawning them or whatever. But the difference this time was that with the undead ones, I don't know if you came across many of them, those fights, they go on for so long. So the necromancer fights.
Oh, I did come across
where
that.
They can respawn maybe 2 or 3 things every fight. But also if one of your people die, they can respawn them as a zombie as well. The fights go on for so long. You've no fatigue left at the end of it. You're just fighting things over and over again until you can kill the necromancer. And then I remember finishing one of those fights and then getting jumped by another fight immediately after that, and it was another necromancer. I was like, this is gonna take hours.
That's what I was talking about.
And it stopped the campaign then. It's like, I can't keep fighting these things.
No. The game is incredible. It is real.
Yeah, the game is great.
Any tactics fan.
I recommend the DLCs as well. DLCs add a lot to it.
Yeah, there's crafting as well, isn't there?
Crafting in DLC as well, which I don't think I ever did. Yeah.
That is a big...
Yeah.
But moving on, that's our game number 2. Right, so then we have my section.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, which is my other games that I... Now, normally in the Game of the Year show that I do with Wendy, I go through these games. But go through here to add a bit of substance, a bit of chutzpah.
Doing a lot of talking here.
So these are games that I play in order from this time last year to this time this year. So starting off, Chained Echoes is a little turn-based kind of RPG, like JRPG. This game was insane. What I remember most about Chained Echoes is what it tried to do with its... It may look... I know it looks and sounds so generic. Like, so Japanese. So boring. So wow, chained echoes.
I actually can't remember you playing this or talking about it, and I feel like it just melted away.
Yeah, it melts away into just completely forgettable mush. But no, it actually does not. No, I was only messing saying that. But it doesn't. What it tries to do with its combat is really different. It's kind of like a battle that gets you to use different types of spells. Like really interesting, cool combat. This game was actually going to be my number. Well, I'll explain it in my Game of the Year show in a couple of weeks. But this was in for to get a listed spot until
Really?
Yeah, really good, really interesting.
Now it's just forgettable mush.
No, it's not forgettable mush. But what I'm saying about forgettable mush is that these type of games have the potential to be forgettable mush, like Chained Echoes and some generic watercolor drawn anime sprites. Like what even are like?
What's even
I think the
happening
protagonist has some dog shit name, like something really forgettable, like Peter or something. Like just fucking right.
Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin. And we already went through it.
All right.
We got the Mario Strikers. That was about Christmas this time last. That was really good fun. We've already gone through it. Then we also got Play. This game. What I love about Play It Up, it's like Overcooked except without the chaos. Yeah, there is some chaos.
Yeah.
But it's not puzzle. It's not every level. It's like you have different kind of goes day by day.
Better.
And you get better and better. Kind of like roguelike, where you can unlock blueprints and try and improve. Whereas Overcooked is that's like you're trying, like, you know, and it's like it's purposefully set up
To be chaotic.
to be chaotic.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
Play It Up isn't really. It's more campaign sort of focused, and then you reach over a certain franchise, huge big food courts. But everybody in Play It Up has like this, almost like, again, a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
They have like something to do in it. That's why it's a brilliant co-op, and it's co-op for. It's like a multiplayer game for people who don't like Overcooked and just want to work cheeseburgers and some steak.
I mean, it does get substantially harder as
It
well.
does.
right?
No, it does get heated, but it's not
No.
perfectly set up to get.
Wasn't this game outrageously expensive, or was that?
Yes, it was. At the time it released, it was €12.
No, wait. Was it?
Maybe not. I think we got it on sale for €12. But
I
was
thought
it not?
I thought we got like a demo or something,
Yeah, we got the demo.
and then when it came out, it was like €30 or something.
No.
Oh,
I don't think it was. No way. No, it wasn't.
Oh, man.
30. It might have been 20, but it was. Yeah, no, we got it for 20.
Oh,
Outrageously
that bad.
expensive, some might say.
Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, that was a joke.
Yeah, that was it. I thought you were doing
No,
I thought you were doing a bit.
I thought genuinely wasn't.
I thought you were doing
No, I forgot. Yeah, the joke is that it wasn't outrageously expensive.
No, it did that.
Well, depending on some.
Depending on some people's outlook. Oh yeah, I delved into this life simulator earlier this year as well. I got this on the Steam sale around Christmas last year. Like Battle Brothers, I can see how people can lose hundreds of thousands of hours to this game.
It's their life to it.
It is just like a life simulator. But what is kind of cool about RimWorld is that you can set how chaotic you want. You can live like your best little life and have like your nice little farm and your cozy farm simulator, and you can manage your food levels, and you can craft like stuff for your community and your farms. I've already said farms. I swear to God, this isn't a cozy farm game.
It sounds like
it. Really is not.
I'm already losing interest.
It's
It's
incredible.
I'm
difficult.
reaching for the button to move on to the next one.
No button. There's like, you can get like attacked by poachers. You can set up caravans to go across and trade and bring your resources to trade. Then it gets really weird. It gets very, very weird. You can unlock tombs which have like robot technology, and you can like fight the robots. They'll come and raid your camp, and you can their machines to make like advanced like
meteor
medicine
showers as well, or something as well.
There are
isn't
meteor
there?
showers. You can have like volcanoes and go off and like you can have like there's like forest fires that can start. You can corral and like tame wild animals, and then like if you tame like the muffalo, which is like their version of a buffalo, you can like get their fur, and then you can make like warm to survive the winter. It's incredible. It's an incredible simulator. It's very deep. It's very basic looking.
Too deep.
Some might say too deep for just a casual
Farm
gamer
sim.
TM like me. Farm sim?
Yeah. Very just a casual.
It's just a casual farming simulator. Anybody who likes casual farming simulators, go buy this game. It's about €30. There's like 3 or 4 different DLCs for it, which adds tons of stuff to it. You can have like children and babies. That's just off the top of my head stuff, but it is incredible. And these gods that you're seeing on the screen are, I think they're essentially gods. They're like ways you can start the game. One of them starts the game very easy. One of them starts the game very hard. And the other one starts the game like with extreme chaos mode, where there's just meteor showers, volcanoes going off, earthquakes, blizzards happening like within 2 hours of each other, and it's just wild. But it is really cool. And if you have like an interest in imagination, or I think it's the type of game where you would go on to forums and guide and seeing what type of people. The more you put into this game, way more you will get out of it. I imagine there's a certain threshold to really get through that. Another game I got last year, Stacklands. This is a brilliant little card game, city builder. Yes, a city builder. Incredible art in it. So you get these different kind of you get like crop cards. You can create like an origin card. Go over and forage and crop card. Combine crops to make recipes. Feed your villagers. You can create different buildings, create like lumber camps to mine your forest cards. It's all done on card based, and you have to manage just several different resources. And you just basically, it's like a survival game but done in, and the artwork is quaint, really nice art. It's just a nice little silk. Yeah, really good game, and very hard to describe. It's like a card base. It's like a card game meets this city builder, and
Right.
it's very chill for the most part. You can introduce or you can go for like and get objectives, and achievements. Go and it is in the forest, but you summon the correct card to go to the witch. It's to summon like.
Is this still the same game we're talking about?
This game is called Portal Lands, and no, but it is really good. And the reason it's called Stacklands is because you stack your cards on top of each other, and the more cards you have stacked, the more resources you get. Like your resources you can like if you create like a couple of three cards stacked, will create like things like that. So. Haven't played in about a year. I can't say I remember the gameplay loop because I'm struggling to remember it that much. But it is a nice little game, and for €2, absolute steal. Vampire Survivors, can't go wrong. Absolute class. This was on my list. They released
And this year.
Well, this is on my other games list, and the reason I have it here this year is because there was DLC released this year, and it does add a lot to it. But the main gist of this year's updates was the fact that they released co-op for this.
Yeah.
You can play,
Big one.
I think it's 4-player co-op. They released that a few months ago. I still haven't gotten to try it. Would like to play. It's funny because it's actually a hard game to get to the table. It's like a really tough game to convince people to play. But it's a brilliant game. As it was on my, I think it was brilliant game.
Yeah.
And it's only like £3.
Very hard to convince people to play it.
Yeah. Why is that?
I don't know. I haven't played it.
Interesting.
And you bought it for me.
Oh yeah.
This time last year.
Oh yeah. And it's local co-op as well, so
Oh, yeah.
even weirder.
Just never played.
Nah,
No,
let's
I'm
just
joking.
delete it. It's gone. I got Point B. Point B
Never
is a
heard.
game I played on Netflix games. So Netflix have games, and Point P is one of them on it. It's a mobile game. I think it's exclusively on Netflix. It's kind of like you play as Point P, who is this thing with what looks like a bullet in its hand, but it's probably some fruit. And you are trying to flick the screen downwards, kind of like Angry Bird style, to get Point P to flick upwards and collect fruit. And you can flick him mid-air as well. As you're flicking him, stops the game, and you have to try and reset the amount of. Really cool game, but it didn't really have enough legs to kind of keep it going. I think I played for about an hour on the Netflix games, and I kind of felt like I had seen everything. But if you do have Netflix games, definitely give this a shot. The art style is really cool. Yeah, definitely recommend. Little Pharaoh. A remake from the 90s classic Pharaoh. Really, really good game. If you haven't played the classic, the new one just basically kind of modernizes a few of the systems that needed modern. But at the same time,
even with that,
yeah,
it was still slow.
It was. They kept through the worst parts of the original and modernized some parts that probably weren't needed to be modernized, like the combat. Combat in the original game is done live, where you create your units and you kind of like real-time strategy, like RTS style, click and command them over to certain areas of the map to defeat the enemies that are raiding your city. But combat in Pharaoh New Era, the remake, is done in like a windowed combat. It's essentially a cutscene. Not a cutscene, but it's essentially... Sorry, it's not a cutscene. It's automated. So you don't control anything really. You're just told the amount of things that will be attacking. So you just build more of those things, and then you'll just win. There was never a time I built less things than it and lost. Every time I built more than it, I always won.
Oh, very straightforward.
It was very straightforward, and it was really weird. Even when I had less than them, if I had a certain type of unit against their units, I would just win. So combat didn't really make sense. It was very it wasn't transparent in how the combat was played. So they tried to modernize that.
You never lost.
They actually made it more obtuse, and I didn't understand the combat. I just knew that in every map, combat in military unit, to build those, because there probably would be combat. And then when you build them, then you're very rarely. Well, I never lost.
Never lost
the combat.
Yeah.
But I still had to have combat units. But outside of the combat, that was a weird thing that they remade, and it's probably for the worst, because they could have remade it and had the real-time strategy elements to it, and as it's mod, they'd be able to do that with. But the biggest
most egregious?
That's the word. The most egregious was the fact that they didn't improve on getting the monuments is still a massive part of the game, and it takes forever. Now, they do have speed up. You can speed the game up. I cannot remember off the top of my head if they had that in the original game, but
probably not.
Yeah, they just the speeding up, it still didn't. Like, there's so much things going on under the system that things still don't really make sense. Like you kind of have to be waiting for certain merchants who sell brick to come to you, and you'd just be there at the edge of the screen waiting for the merchant to just appear on the screen, like, come in. You're there waiting.
There's no way of speeding it up if you've a certain amount.
There is. You can have it on the max amount of speed. You could be going on 50 times speed.
Oh, I mean to get bricks. There's no like a loophole or anything. You just have to. There's just stuff going on behind the screen that you can't really influence.
You don't control, or you could have everything, all the paths open, still main up, and it might be you don't even know. Is this because there's like somebody with bad teeth and I need to build a dentist in this part of the town? Is that why they're not coming to visit my town?
Why the merchant isn't coming?
The merchant isn't coming. Is it because there's these crocodiles? I
It
haven't
only
been
comes on
merchants inside
Tuesdays
them, huh?
unless there's crocodiles in the river.
There's a crocodile in the river and they're too afraid to come across the river. But yeah, it still doesn't really explain. It's kind of hard. It also launched with like a few bugs and glitches, which wasn't great, but they fixed. But the game is still like, weirdly enough, sitting on like mixed reviews on Steam, which I find odd because for the most part, the game is actually made really well. And it's a real... I don't normally get hit with like a nostalgia hit where it's like, oh, this game is like really good and I'll just buy it because it's like the old one without reading reviews. But for this, I kind of did. I was like, this game is going to be really chill. And I had...
What happens?
It happened. And I had no idea how to play this game as a child. Like when we had it on PC.
And now I'm an adult
And
and,
now I'm an adult.
I still don't know how to play.
I have even less idea how to play it because the systems are more obtuse. But I do have an idea how to play this. In fact, so much so that I ended up kind of like getting kind of bored of the game after about 20 hours and about, I'd say maybe about halfway through the main campaign. I had distilled the objectives down to their bare necessities, those simple bears that rest at ease. I just boiled the entire thing down. I knew the exact same system to set up in each map to have the best outcome, the best economy, the best pottery, the best religion, the best everything.
The best religion? Uh-oh, cut that.
Oh no, I don't know, cut that. You know, do you you have certain gods that you pray to? Editor, cut that. So I had everything boiled down. So it was every level just became by the numbers, and it just got kind of boring. Even if the objective was like this mad, strange, obtuse thing, you still had to do the same setup to set your city up for success, and then you go for your objective, like a pyramid, a monument to Ra, whatever it was. You'd still have to build your economy. So you still start with like, you know,
Exact
your farms,
same.
your bazaar, your granary, your everything. Like it's just all the different things in it. Like you get your police station, you get your architect, you get everything, keep the crime in, you build your palace, you build your courthouse. All of this stuff was just wrote, like distilled down, and it's a good game though, I swear to God. And for people who remember the ones in the 90s, I would definitely recommend it, probably on sale. It's still sitting on mixed reviews on Steam, which I don't know why. It's not that egregious, but where it matters, it hasn't really the better, I don't think. But it is a good nostalgia hit, which I hate saying that because the game shouldn't be judged on nostalgia. But it is, to say it's true, in all the worst ways, the original. Oh, Shadowrun Dragonfall. So this had the potential. I was really looking for my Underrail hit this year. Really looking for it.
I thought this is co-op originally, but it wasn't. We actually started the game at the same time with 2 different campaigns.
That's right. And apparently, I was reading reviews. There are 3 different types of Shadowrun, or 3 Shadowrun games. And
Yeah,
Dragonfall is
the best.
best one.
Yeah.
According to communities and reviews and forums, Dragonfall is the best one. So I started Dragonfall, and there was something about it that just didn't really hit it for me. I think it might have been the combat, or I think it might have been the actual setting, the cyberpunky sort of setting. There was just something about the art style as well that just, I don't know, it's just, it turned me off. And I thought that there wasn't enough depth in the RPG elements of the game to really merit like it being put so much hours in. It's like an RPG light. I would probably recommend Shadowfall Dragon Run. Shadow Dragon's Runfall. To somebody who is just getting into RPGs and wants like a really solid, light, Lite, light kind of RPG elements in like cyberpunky.
But you finished it.
No.
Not finished. I did not finish the tutorial. No, I did finish the
You did
tutorial.
finish the
I finished the tutorial and then didn't get any further than that. And I don't know why. Something was a bit amiss about it.
Yeah, there's something definitely like that doesn't hit right. And I think it maybe is like the 3D model or the art style itself. There's just something kind of like janky or off-putting, or there's something about the art style that just the characters don't look like they fit in the world. Just don't sit right on the screen. The animations or something are a bit weird. I don't know what it is about it. Just could not get into
This could have been
the game.
maybe it would have been better if it was co-op campaign.
Yeah, I think
like Wasteland.
Yeah, Yeah, I think it definitely would have. Like, multiplayer would have added to this because the single player story didn't grip me. I didn't feel into any of the characters, didn't care for the campaign. But then even the combat. Normally, if I can't look over a story or like that, then the next easy fallback is the gameplay. Is the game fun to play? And that I could easily play a game with like shite characters, shite story, shite everything.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if the game fun as hell and the combat is fun, I could that rush under the rug. But the combat just didn't do it either.
I also played this as well, and I didn't even put it on my list. Well, I suppose I only really played the tutorial.
Yeah.
Until you get to the hub world.
Yeah.
Probably could have put a bit more into this, but yeah, I don't know.
I put about 7 hours.
Alright, okay.
Well, it felt like that. Maybe the campaign was only 6. I put enough in it to know I didn't want to play it anymore, is all I'm saying.
I feel like this game would be better if it was called.
Yeah.
Because you can definitely see, I mean, yeah, it looks like it. You can get like miniguns and stuff as well, and as well, right? Like you can build you can make pretty good builds.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I like the things like the dialogue options. Just there are different options to do. Never felt like anything was impactful.
Was going to make a difference, and yeah.
There's just something about it. Chip we've already covered. Incredible game. Love it so much. Crypt of the Necrodancer. Played this game, got it for hella cheap on GOG. Yeah, played that this year. Obviously inspired Cadence of Hyrule.
That's the one I've played.
Yeah, but this is the original.
Yeah,
and it's brilliant. I can see why they wanted, like Nintendo wanted them to create a Legend of Zelda version of this. It fits perfectly into it, and the music is really good. Yeah, it plays exactly like Cadence, so it's like a beat. You jump to the beat, move to the beat. Incredibly hard game.
Incredibly hard.
Very difficult. Yeah.
Cadence isn't that.
I don't think so.
Difficult.
No, it's not as hard as. No, Cadence is. I don't think.
No. Is there a hub? Not a hub world, but is there a map in Crypt of the Necrodancer? Or is it more you go into each level?
You fall down. You're going down into each level. Is like a ton. It's like a hole, say, in the ground, and you're falling to each level. It's like a dungeon that only goes down. There's no overworld flat over.
Yeah, like in Cadence.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just you're into like the next section. But I found the game to be really difficult. But I found it to be fun. Like definitely a good game. I have it on GOG. It's like got it for like £3.
It's always on sale.
Yeah. So long checkered history with Blood Bowl we have.
I haven't gotten to play it yet.
I can't believe that, because
it doesn't have controller support. No, it doesn't have Steam Deck support.
Yeah, which is also
controller
support.
Yeah.
So you can't play it on Steam Deck.
But this,
which would be ideal. This game was made for Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Or what I mean is, it should have been made for Steam Deck.
Like playing on next to each other.
Yeah. It should be.
Yeah.
Well, but it's
that's how you'd imagine playing.
Yeah, that's how you imagine playing it.
I wouldn't want to play this online or even against you in a different room.
No, I
feel like this is made to be played
in the same room with a load of friends, and you just pass the controller back and forth.
Yeah.
In the case of if you're sitting down in a sitting room or chilling, you could just each take a go on a Steam Deck over to each other.
Yeah.
Like it's exactly like that, and the game would really shine if, first of all, if you could add maybe like more. Well, not even if you could add more players to it, because each player is a team, and you could just pass the controller around to different people on the team, and that would be fine. Like you could have 6 of your friends over and have 3-on-3, and then one person take one go, and
six of your friends who also like Blood Bowl,
which is a very difficult find. But the best thing about Blood Bowl, that is not the board game. Board game is so slow.
It's so incredibly slow.
My God, it's so slow, and the rules are terrible. We had so many homebrew rules. We're very seasoned Blood Bowl veterans, and the rules are so bad.
It's designed to not let you score.
Yeah, it really is. It's designed to just slow the thing down. So we homebrew ruled it so much over the last few years that we were able to get like a pretty decent set of rules going to be able to allow. Let's say
streamline the game as fast as it could possibly be played.
Benefit of the doubt to the attacker, just to get more goals to be scored.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a VAR type of thing, except the VAR always went the other way. The attacker. all the time. But the best thing about the game is that it actually distills all of that crap.
All of the rolling of the
for
dice and
directions,
the
rolling for if
direction,
it rolls
all
out of
that.
play, rolling for kickoff,
Yeah,
random roll kickoff, rolling for
a
fan
lot of
involvement.
rules in this game.
Yeah, rolling for like the good weather, bad. All of these rolls that you're doing, like it just gets rid of that. Rolling for injury, rolling
And the,
for all that. It
the
just
rules
does it. It just does
for
it.
weather just make the game even harder to play.
Yeah, just as if the game wasn't hard enough to play in sunny weather, perfect conditions, then you could make it even. But the game does distill, and it makes it a lot faster. But that being said, though, it's still Blood Bowl, and it gets rid of our homebrew rules. So we're back to the ball falls, it turns over to the other team.
Oh yeah.
So all
You
of our
try to
homebrew
pick
rules
up
are
the
gone.
ball.
You kick it
You
500
kick it.
feet, into the enemy crowd. They throw a bomb, they kill you. That's the type of shit about this.
But not even that. It was. I remember playing a game where nobody got to take a turn because we were playing in wet weather, and then we dropped the ball, which turned it over, and then someone tried to pick the ball up and failed, which turned it over, and we done that for like 8 turns in a row, not picking the ball up, and then the match ended. We're like, whoa, exhilarating stuff!
Wow.
What a match!
Brilliant games. Blood Bowl, perfectly designed game. Cannot be exploited at all. Then
Oh no!
also played Tears of the Kingdom this year, and I'm going to skip out on top of my Tears of the Kingdom because we have it in a future section, as well. This is another game I played this year. Last game, Brigador. Brigador plays like an isometric, real-time strategy game where you control a mech on a map, go around and do missions on the map while holding off tons of enemies. Yeah, it's so weird, but it's really cool as well. It has like a kind of a feel of like these 90s style PC like sprites, like just an old-fashioned, old-school feel to it, and it's really tough. And you basically are playing like a mech. Yeah, walk around the city, destroying the city. You get certain ammo types. Got on GOG, really cheap. I think it hit that €7 mark. For me, Brigador didn't have the legs to really see it out. I think about 4 or 5 hours, then felt like I had seen everything the game had to offer. I was playing it at the same time as another game as well, so yeah, it probably deserves to have more time with it. I think it would probably be cool if you're playing it with somebody as well.
Right.
But still a very cool game, very good concept for a game as well. Oh, Diablo 2. I went back to the classic, the resurrected Diablo 2. This is the remake from the 90s. Was it 90s? Diablo 2? With obviously modernized systems, modern graphics, modern UI. Really good. Really enjoyed it. I could see where the cult, it's not even a cult following, I could see where this fervent following, I should say, from like mass amount of fans came from. Yeah, the original is solid. You're just clicking on enemies and you just kill them. And that's it. Then they drop loot and you pick up better loot. It's like cookie clicker. It's just so addictive. So it is really good. Now, at the same time, I was playing this as one of my other games, that listed games, let's say, from my Game of the Year. So that'll be talking in 2 weeks' time. So I was playing at the same time as one of those. Yeah, so I didn't have much time as I could have put towards Diablo. But I think once you play the first hour, you've basically the entire game, but you're coasting on dopamine of just enemy die. They drop out shine, pick up shine.
It's so simple.
It's real barbarian brain stuff, like, but it is so good. It's really fun, like, and the graphics are really nice. Rubber Bandits. Did we play this last year?
Christmas last year, maybe? Was it? Or was it just last year in general?
I think we played this when I had Game Pass, and then it was so good. I think I bought it on sale on Steam then, and we haven't since.
No.
But yeah, this is one of my favorite. What do you call these games? Stick? Was
I
comical
guess.
slapstick, like You played one, you played them all. Gang
yeah,
Beasts.
Gang Beasts.
Human
Fall
Fall
Flat.
Flat. But I think this is probably like my favorite one of these because it's grounded and there's a bit more things to do in them. Like the kind of like
there is
objectives.
actual objectives and game modes you can
and different
choose.
game modes to play with friends.
Whereas Gang Beasts is just a map
That you punch your
that you
friends
fight
at.
in. Yeah.
Well, this is you have like weapons, objectives, and things to do.
Yeah.
There's like you can like grab. There's like a money grab thing in it as well. You can like, grab money to join like certain objectives, and there's like a kind of a capture the flag thing as well. There's loads of different cool things that you can do in this game, and honestly, it's just a hoot, a party game staple in my mind. Now, Wildermyth
Oh my wish.
is on your wish list. For me,
Take it off.
take it off right now. No, actually keep it on because I actually had a really, really good time with Wildermyth, and I originally got it because co-op. It's but not local co-op. But the appeal of Wildermyth is that it's procedural generated story, so you choose your 3 out of a game, and XCOM style, you name and kind of like you start growing a bond towards them. And I honestly think the appeal of Wildermyth is its abilities to create stories.
Yeah, it's just a story generator, right? Like you.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, because those stories, the difference between
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, really cool, and it's co-op, so you can play with a friend, and you take like turns controlling your character or whatever, name your character. You can get upgrades for your character, different. It's really cool. It has this kind of like watercolor style, kind of Celtic almost kind of feel to it in like the look and feel of it.
Yeah.
And that is also an appeal because it like almost feels like home, like for us, like it's like real Irish, and I really like that look to it as well. The only thing I will say that's bad with Wildermyth is that I played it for about 20, and after 20 hours, I was starting to see the same procedural event multiple times in a run, and that wasn't great. One thing I did like about it though, or one of the good things about it, I should say, is that your party ages well over time, and they get so old that they can retire, and they can like you can have like a romantic involvement with a party or with somebody else that you've come across on a, and then they've like will have a child is now, after a certain amount that they're now fighting age.
Yeah. Bring them into the. Yeah, that's cool. I wasn't deep in the combat and the items.
True.
Also from a bird class.
Little things like that, like
talents.
Yeah, wings from the bird.
Wings, so. It's kind of exactly what you'd want from like it recreates what a D&D campaign would be pretty well.
Essentially,
and automating that stuff of like people you've come across and like cataloging everything your character has done. I know you can do that in D&D, but it's just automating all of that, and like if there was more variety in the story, I guess, and more content there, then that's great, I guess.
Absolutely, and you're right. Talents for you. Just
more different types of wings.
More types of wings. But I do recommend this game, and it has a very distinct Irish feel to it. I don't think it's creative, but I do love it. Even the title, The Wildermyth.
Yeah, that's very Celtic.
Pummel Party, which you've already explained.
Back again.
I love it. Ember Knights.
Yes.
This almost took a listed spot. This was just beaten out on the spot on my game of the year.
Hey, lots you have.
And a bonus game from a separate year.
Oh yeah.
So Ember Knights was this year. What I love about Ember Knights is that it's, let's say, a Hades like, because it plays the same style that Hades. It's a roguelike where you are going from room to room, getting different boons, weapons, upgrade spells. You get certain types of spells. You can only hold like 2 in a run. get coins from defeating enemies. Roguelike, 80s like style. What Ember Knight does is it introduces just all of that.
Co-op. Yeah.
It has a really nice art style. I think that's really cool. The coolest thing about Claire Hades.
Yeah.
That's really
that's
the
all it
coolest
needs
thing.
to be.
It's just, yeah, that's all it needs to
Yeah.
be. Exactly. It doesn't need different like, but it does like like the. Cool. I really like the weapons skills, and when you're playing with friends, it's so much better. It's so much fun. Yeah, it's like if Hades was made into a multiplayer game, which mad fun and mad respect for it. I haven't written too much else about it because it's as you said, multiplayer Hades. That's all it needs.
That's all. Yeah.
Wasteland. I'm not going to talk about this because it's in another section.
Not in your list of spots.
It's not in my list, but it didn't come out this year. But
It's not in your bonus slot.
I have a bonus spot, which I play.
That's not this.
And it's not. I played the bonus. This almost took
shocking.
it. Now. This almost took it because we had a great time with this game, but I'll let you talk about it later. Heavenly Bodies. This was a great game. We played a wrench, but then
What are those types of games called? There's loads of those where the controls are purposefully unintuitive.
oh, what's that? The famous one,
The Octodad or something, is
yeah,
it?
and you're like crawling. There's another one. You're in a pot, and you have to like.
Oh, with the hammer.
Yeah, and the other one with the legs.
The-
Where you're like the runner, the Olympic runner with the legs, and he's like running down the track.
Yeah, there's another one. Where you have to press one button to breathe. Really, and then you have to also walk as well, but you have to hold a button to like keep him upright as well. So it's like flopping around. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's really old. Yeah,
But
sorry.
that
go on.
is this in space.
Yeah.
I think there's another coming out soon where it's like this naked man is walking in a, and he's like moves his feet.
I've seen that.
That actually, I can't remember what that's called. I think it's called something stupid or. It's a real like dumb name. But it looks really cool actually. But this is just that. It's like a real slapstick. It's not slap, but it's a comedy trying to move your arms. It goes flying off into space. You have to there drift, and you're drifting like around to try and pick it. It's really really good, and it's 4-player co-op as well.
I thought it was like 2 player.
It's they had an update recently, and really solid game. Very hard to get to the table though for 4 people, as in there are other games for 4 people to this because it's kind of a mix between series,
a party
and party
game.
It is a weird intersection.
You won't actually get very far in it if it's
messing
4 people not taking this seriously.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but at the same time, there's so much.
Like Death Row to Canada.
Like Death Row to Canada, basically. You have to have all serious or all go home. Back to Winnipeg. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is great.
Oh my goodness. Now we're back to the king. We're back to the classic. Not much to say on this. Probably the best like multiplayer shooter, and it's an insane campaign. So totally.
Yeah.
Golf Peaks. Not much to say. Just a simple poster. Beautiful.
Oh, what was the other rail-based game that there's a second one coming out now recently? It's the co-op one where you build the tracks. This is the puzzle, right?
Yeah.
What was the other one? Unrailed.
Unrailed. Yes, that's a part. Yeah, this is more of a puzzle. This is a puzzle game. And then we already had this.
Fantastic.
Back to Winnipeg.
There's the horse.
There's the horse.
Yeah.
What?
There's the horse.
Oh yeah, yeah. That yes. As we were saying, we won with the horse the other day, and we're like, this guy seems important.
And he was.
I think there's like characters to win.
No.
Yeah.
A lot in the game.
There was something like that. Okay, and then we come to the piece de resistance.
It's number 1 for me.
Yeah.
Is it? It's the one about our other chapter. Oh, I also haven't done my roundup.
Your roundup.
Yeah, I have a roundup. Yeah. You want me to go through it? Oh no, we don't have the images for it.
Yeah, I thought that I didn't get down that.
Oh. Oh yeah.
That you could have sent the images on to
Oh
me.
yeah. No, it was I done the games gang ones that we all played together.
Oh.
And then I also just had a roundup similar to what you had done there. But if we don't have the images for it.
I don't actually have that. But
I have
if
my
you want to
review
go
of-
through, if you want to just list off, I've gone through them.
Sure. Yeah, just a quick roundup for this is almost ideal as well because we can just go through them pretty quickly. Yeah, I played Slay the Spire, which is the most essential of the card games. I feel like this is the pinnacle of these types of games. Like there's Griftlands and I'm sure tons of other ones, but like I feel like this one just really nailed it. Like not much in the way of a story, but like it's just it just keep going back to it just for like one more run, which is when you know that it's a good, that's good. You just want to go back in for it and just another run. But it's so good. Into the Breach, a decent pick up and play strategy game that's perfect for the Switch, but never grabs enough to make me get that just one more run feeling that I was just talking about. For the amount of hours I have in the game, I don't have any strong feelings for it either way. It's just a filler. I feel like that's the complete opposite of the opinion you had for it.
Of what?
Of Into the Breach.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew I have read some controversial things in your in your write up for the games this year. I knew there was something to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. So I absolutely disagree with that.
I don't know. It was just there. I just played it, and then as soon as something new came along, I just dropped it. I didn't really have any strong feelings for it either way. Yeah. It was just there. I don't know. I didn't really get into it at all. Yeah, I loved the strategy and everything, but yeah, I just went off it really quick.
That game to death.
Yeah, I think you got every single achievement in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I love that game so much. And then they came out with the advanced edition, and they had like a ton of new content in it, new team.
Yeah.
New achievements to get, and the new mission types, new enemy type. Yeah. I love that game so much. I barely even played the advanced version because I
already
burnt the disc on the original
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. I put a good few hours into it, but I just really.
We gotta get a section up here, a controversial opinion section. Editor, put that in there.
Yeah, moving on. Bastion. Yeah, it's good. I know it's just like the beginning of Supergiant games.
Yeah,
you can see where they're going on their way to Hades.
Oh, but you did say something about Hades though, or about Bastion.
Yeah, I said it's good. It's a good game, but it's just not Hades yet.
Well, no.
But it's.
Oh yeah.
In the way that this was just like it's like, when was it released? Like it's obviously. Every time I play like a Supergiant game, I just feel like it's like I can see where they're going on the way to this to Hades.
Oh, true, actually.
I had Dome Keeper. I showed you this. This was great. Dome Keeper was so simple. Just combines like one of those mining games and like a tower-esque defense type game. But yeah, you just go underground, dig for resources, then come up and upgrade your base, and then fend off like waves or whatever. And it's so simple. And then you eventually have to dig so deep that you find the golden snitch. You find the thing, the relic, I think it is, and then bring it back, and then you win. But yeah, it's so simple. Definitely recommend it. And I don't think it's that expensive either. It's
just
just yeah, real simple. Looks cool as well. Yeah. Also played Weird West.
Oh yes,
You also played this.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear what you thought about it. I couldn't really get into it. It just felt like it was missing something.
I think like it's again this. I feel like it's missing co-op.
Maybe all these games would be better if they just had co-op.
I really do think like because
Probably, yeah.
I just don't think the story is strong enough.
I don't think the
Trying
story
to
is
do,
strong
like,
enough.
foibles,
Disjointed.
like the story come from 5 different like main story game, and there's not enough time to build
any
like,
type of
sort of like set up
relationship with any of the storylines or characters. I just felt like it all felt like kind of just disjointed. Even like when you're exploring the world, there's different like random events and like camps and stuff on the map.
like that was very fillery.
Very fillery because none of it felt like it tied into anything. They were just these random like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if like this thing happened and but none of it really none of it really ties into anything at all. Like I was going to random camps and I just felt like I was listlessly wandering from thing to thing in the game, and none of it felt really like it tied in together properly. Yeah, I just couldn't get into it at all.
Felt in the very kind of airy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Didn't feel like anything you did was. It felt like you were.
There was
Around, like-
something off about the movement in it as well, and the shooting. Just
Has potential, and I really like that. I'm honest for to see what the studio does next. This is a good stepping stone.
Building.
This. They were ex devs. So they broke off and made this and good.
It just felt like it was missing something.
Yeah, it's been a lot of things.
Yeah.
The base work and the base work.
Yeah.
I would just like if they went just the stealth aspect again.
Oh. Yeah, no.
No, I just
No.
and met.
Meta is really janky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like they should go all in on like shooting and like a gung ho like Eddie West.
Yeah, blasting the place up.
Just
Go in. I feel like that's kind of what I wanted out of the game.
Yeah,
Just going
I
in
wanna
there
make a
and just
mess, like
throwing things in. That was honestly the
From-
funnest part, just going in. I don't think I tried to stealth that much, but it also does incentivize it because you can't just walk into places and shoot it up, even though it would be an entirely different game.
Yeah.
But that would be the most fun way of doing it. Just going in, just like some Quentin Tarantino movie, just blasting people.
I really do
like,
think double down on that.
yeah, I think maybe it does try to take itself a little bit too seriously as well. Yeah, the melee, there is a lot of it that just feel kind
Even
of
though you
broken
have
as well.
Yeah, maybe the same way as Eric did. I know what you're gonna say because I just did it. I just did the thing.
There's a lot of games out there like Synthetic.
There is, yeah. I mean, Deep Rock is just
Synthetic with dwarves.
synthetic, just in a mine.
Yeah, just missing something.
What else did you play?
2 games left.
One of them very controversial. Which
How far did you get my review? You said you didn't read this far down because you didn't have the images for
I
it, but you
actually
seem to
do.
know every game that's
I
coming
actually
out.
do have all the images I've downloaded.
Oh, okay. What is it? Citizen Sleeper.
Citizen Sleeper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good game.
Couldn't get into it. It is a good game. I really enjoyed the dice.
Dice was in.
I thought
Yeah.
You gotta say that was my least favorite part.
No, I did like that. I genuinely.
I really enjoyed the dice and having to choose. I'm trying to make that you have enough energy to the more energy you have, the more dice you get to roll, and then there's more actions when you're in the thing, and you have to try and pick what things you want to. The higher the dice roll, the more likely it is that you pass that thing. So you're obviously trying to prioritize the actions that you do to try and get off the space station.
Yeah.
Where it fell flat was I just didn't get invested in any of the stories. Again, maybe this is starting to become a me issue, but I just can't. Same as Weird West, I didn't get invested in the story. And then
what are you looking for to get into it? Like what's the last game? Because if like 6 out of the 8 games you're playing,
yeah, I don't know. It was, I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. It was just a lot of reading and trying to make you feel bad for these characters who are stuck on this space station. But like, I just didn't feel bad for any of them. When I finished, I got the achievement for completing the game, and it said the 0.1% of Steam players have this achievement. I was like, oh, I definitely made some bad choices. But I think I left the space station by myself without trying to help anybody, because I didn't really get invested in reading anybody's other stories. But what did you think of it?
I really liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was less of a game and more a graphic novel, like an interactive novel.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong. But I did really like the dice, but there wasn't too much to that as well.
It was more of a graphic novel. Like,
cool. I loved the art style in it. The illustrations were. I like some characters I wouldn't really care for, but that doesn't mean the whole thing. I did get into it, finish it. Endings. The only thing about it is that I felt like the game had stayed as well. Like I felt like by the time
it's only like 4 hours long.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Well, I felt like the time you got to the final third, like the final act, which is the the garden. Yeah.
What?
Hold on. So you didn't even play like you were giving me jip for playing like, oh, it's only 4 hours long, and you didn't even get there.
No, I thought I got to the end of the game. I got off the space station.
Yeah. So you would have gotten to the botanical area, the green top end of the ship.
No. I didn't get that far. I didn't get to a botanical area. I repaired the ship that's leaving. Like, you have to work on the ship repair and crew, and then you have to get it ready for like its exodus off the thing, and then you have to like win a ticket to get onto the ship. Yeah, I just got the ticket and got on the ship.
Oh no. I gave the ticket to the other.
You see, I didn't. I took the ticket for myself, and this is probably why I got 0.1%.
And that's why you didn't see. That's why you didn't. Yeah, no wonder, because it's at the end of the game.
It's probably the only halfway
That's like,
point.
I'm sick of this game now. I'm done. I just want to end it. Maybe you were better off then, just finishing the game there then. But at the same time, you didn't see most of the game. But again, at the same time, how many same times is there? So many same times. The game, I feel like the game had stayed its welcome then whenever you went to the
You probably should have just gone off
I probably just gone off the ship, fucking end this game and just deleted off the hard drive. Like, finish the game. Finish with this fucking ticket. Because, but I did think that was cool. And I thought it was really weird where you had this kind of like Ghost in the Shell, like Ghost in the Machine sort of style where you could like
thing, right?
And you could follow these like phantom illusion thing. I don't remember what alternate realm where that
like
was really interesting.
Not the AI of the ship. Well, kind of like the AI of the ship. Yeah, you're like in the electronics or whatever.
Yeah, and you have like a confrontation with them.
Yeah, with the big with the dog thing
dogs.
that's like hunting it.
Yeah. It just had have enough to say for it as it went on, but it was still really good and it was still really different.
Or the gameplay.
Gameplay.
The gameplay was too repetitive towards the end.
Yeah,
because it's just
not the story though. I thought the story was pretty
over and over again.
Interested in most of the stories, not all of them. Like most of them was, but most of them was like cool. A few of them were kind of gameplay. It's welcome. It didn't have enough to keep you invested in one play it. I was just I found I was kind of just doing things for the sake of it, different stories, like the story in the car, the story getting help, like helping out restaurant and stuff like that, like things like that, like getting the hydroponic area, like the garden area, that to work again.
The what now?
Wait, Wait, what?
You didn't get to the underwater section. The
You
underwater
didn't get to the
temple.
part where you get in the spaceship and you have to start flying through the planets, start killing everybody. Oh yeah, but I thought it was good. Have you got another game then that you're?
I have one last game from my yearly roundup.
Right.
No, I don't actually have two.
You have two. Okay.
Okay, I have Pentiment.
Intimate. See.
Pentiment.
Intimate.
Pentiment. I have Pentiment.
Okay, this is an interesting.
This is an
I
interesting
read
one.
this.
I wanted this to be better. I probably should have started the review with that, but I was running out of time before.
Yeah, I see that because it's like that's it.
That's it. This is clearly the last one I wrote because I wanted to finish it before we did this. Yeah, I wanted this to be better, but it wasn't.
That's really great because
Yeah,
it looks really cool. I love the book style, like drawn sort of art. That you couldn't get into it, but I take everything you say about a story with a pinch of salt. You seem to not get into games very easily, or another way of saying that, it seems very hard for you to get into something.
Yeah,
So I take that with a pinch of salt.
it's
Because
very
you-
okay, but once again,
No, the
but
main
this
thing,
is
one
more
of my
like a
favorite games of all, Disco Elysium. You and couldn't get into that 3 times or so,
yeah.
and that was one of my favorite games of all.
No, I did go back and play it again, and it also made it into my game of the year list last year. So,
Yeah.
so I did get into it.
Okay, eventually,
Eventually,
after giving it 5 chances.
it was my third run that I eventually got into it. But the first time was because I made the
Died
wrong
with the
build.
tie.
Huh?
Died with the tie.
Died with the yeah. I actually died. Actually died on the I died a lot. Yeah. Intimate.
So Pentiment, yeah.
Yeah, it was just slow. It just took a lot to get going.
It's mainly
I
a
know all
story.
the time. Yeah, it's another maybe I just don't like graphic novel or like story.
Is there much gameplay to it?
No.
In all the trailers I see, it doesn't look like you're actually actioning other
No.
than select dialogue.
Yeah, that's it.
There's no
It could-
upgrades or
No.
there's no like gather something for to make a tool or something like that.
Just walking from place to place, talking to people.
Right.
Just kind of slowly walking around, you talk to people, kind of builds up this, I think like murder mystery type thing.
Yeah.
And then I think actions have consequences as well. That different people can get blamed for the murder depending on who you talk to or some of the dialogue choices or whatever. That's how it works. But there's literally no gameplay to it. Like it's just walking from place to place, talking to different people. I think you should play it. It's like clearly have some sort of issue
Some
with
sort
these
of weird
types
issue
of
with
games.
stories and games.
But yeah, it's just there's no gameplay. It's just all story.
It's like a Game Pass game.
Yeah.
Give it a
Yeah.
shot on Game Pass. Don't spend whatever it is, 14 quid on a game.
Yeah. I think you should. Yeah, it's just like it's not so much as of a game. You just walk around and talk to people. It could be a book.
Okay. I like the art style to it. But yeah, okay, I see what you mean. Gameplay. And then what, have you got another game?
I have my last game.
Okay, this is really controversial whenever. So this is even more controversial than
No controversial. To be fair, I've actually put a lot of games in here that should have ended up in the sloppy floppy section because I just tend to
actually they probably could. No,
I just
sloppy is
tend
for the one
to
biggest.
select the games that are in this section.
Yeah.
Do I even like games?
No, you don't. It's either extreme end.
really like them or hate them.
I only literally said this sentence during the week. It's like you either are extreme end, hate a thing, and it shouldn't exist even in this plane existence. It shouldn't exist, or it's your entire person. There's no in between with you.
Good. That's what I mean. Like it. We either like things or we love them. There's no someone being on the fence about something. You gotta have an opinion on it. And in this case, well, okay, the last game and the freshest on my mind was, why is this controversial? You watched this game as well. You had the same issues with it. Umbrella.
Well, this is
Which one did you think it was? Oh yeah, that is controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that one.
Where's that in this?
That could be here as well.
Where is it?
It's further down. It was further down because I put
Oh.
it in my original like bad disappointment games of the year.
Okay.
Because the gameplay in that is phenomenal. Pyre.
Yeah.
But that I just wanted that.
No
story.
I'm fucking serious. This is why Synthetic was your favorite game of the year, because there's literally no story. It's just all game.
Story. Battle Brothers make your own story.
Yeah, Battle Brothers is a story generator. You make your own. But
I'm sweating now. I feel like I'm in the hot seat.
yeah, you should be.
That was just more of that. Just more of the game. Less talking.
So are we talking about Gumbrella or are we talking about
No,
Pyre?
we're talking about
We're
Pyre.
talking about
now.
Pyre.
We're
Okay.
getting Pyre out of the way now.
So if we didn't, we wouldn't have hate.
I know. I'm just saying. Hades, like, has the perfect blend.
Yeah.
It has way less story unless you want to actually talk to people and build up like those relations. Never talking about Hades and build up those relationships.
Yeah.
But like 95% of the game of Hades is just you want to start a run straight in. You can start a run and then you die and you can just go straight in, start another run and then go from there. Like Pyre, I felt like there was about 30 minutes between each match. Like I just wanted to be in and playing because the matches are insane.
Yeah.
They're so good. But yeah, there was just so much in between the matches. It was also not really something that you would play online or like we tried to play it.
I don't think so. It's not online.
Tried to remote play. We tried to remote play.
I think we did.
Didn't work.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
The matches are
it is
are
offline.
insane. But yeah, that was I just feel like the matches were insane. The like
The matches
there
were
all the
fun.
different like there's different skills
Yeah.
and like the different players. Like it's a really good blend. The matches are really fast.
Yeah.
And like yeah, they like removing one player from each team is just incentivizing people to score more. Then because you're obviously at a disadvantage. So and they're insanely fast
Space
paced.
basketball.
Yeah.
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 That's what it
Yeah.
plays like.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's brilliant. The
Yeah, it's
gameplay is
brilliant.
brilliant. And why I love it, because it took a chance on something really weird. It made a narrative fantasy sport game that was like to be mass produced, because in a sense that it was for the mass. Like this wasn't just like an I don't think they're more of a double A. Yeah, I just love the game. And like yeah, in between it.
Which parts of it?
What?
Which parts of it?
In between?
Yeah, no, like the game is cool and like it's real and like I love that. Like, you know, I don't want to be playing FIFA and they made like a fantasy space basketball game,
Yeah.
which is and the rules and the mechanics of the game play are great. I just wanted more of the game.
More of the game.
The campaign is just there was just a lot going on in the campaign, and it's like it looks great. The art style is great as well. But like just I just play space basketball. The space basketball was so good that I just wanted to play it over and over again, matches.
Yeah. See how they took that
And
and
brought
built
it into Hades.
Yeah, they baked
Yeah.
the narrative around.
Building up
in
the
Hades.
relationships with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that came from, and
Yeah.
obviously the combat.
I'm not
came
saying
from
Pyre shouldn't
that.
exist. I'm just saying the gameplay is fantastic. But
Oh yeah, no, I'm not either. But I'm saying, without that, the storytelling ass.
I know. I love the story in Hades.
Yeah. But we can't compare Hades, Pyre retroactively
Comparing Hades to.
because Hades improved.
But improved on it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but that's bad. That Pyre, even though
No,
Pyre
I'm
is
saying Pyre is bad. No, well, not Pyre is bad, but the worst parts of Pyre are the parts where you're not playing the matches.
yeah.
And I just wanted to play the matches.
Yeah.
But the best
It
parts of
outshone
Hades are that you can just do. You
Is
can just
all of it.
all of it. First of all of it. But it's just like even you can just go straight in. Just there's way more game
Yeah.
play.
You can have a game when you want game. Gameplay and the fighting and the moons and
Yeah.
levels and the bosses and the art style. Everything's wild in that game.
But
Best game ever.
the
Best game.
poster right there. The the worst parts of Pyre were just that you can't go straight into those matches.
Yeah.
But I'm not comparing them retroactively. I'm just saying, like, Hades did improve on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like Pyre is great with because I love the matches.
You
and
can
the
see
gameplay.
the improve.
Yeah, because I played Bastion this year as well.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is like the start, and then was it? Did they release Pyre after that?
No.
Or was there a game in between?
Game in between. The
Transistor. Yeah.
And there's a huge update between Bastion, and then there's
Between Transistor and Pyre. Yeah.
And then
it's
they
perfected with Hades.
Those games,
Yeah.
One.
Playing all three of them,
And
you can see
improved on
how they've all meshed together perfectly. Yeah.
With that, then we finally have
Alright,
this
we've gotten
Number 1 spot on here for ages. And
we haven't talked about Umbrella yet.
we're still not even moving on. We're not even moving on. Okay. So we have Gumbrella then.
Yeah. Okay. We also have Unsighted.
Oh my, Unsighted. Okay, Blitz. Why was
Okay.
it good? Why was it bad?
It egregiously wastes your time.
Yeah, it was a terrible waste of time. Everything outside of boss fights in that game was a
Co-op was a great,
co-op was amazing.
and the boss fights were fantastic.
They were the best
Really
parts about the
challenging. The best parts about it, but everything else just forcing you to backtrack. Like just adding time onto the game for the sake of adding on time, forcing you to backtrack and do other things. Yeah, just silly amounts of time wasting. Yeah, that's essentially it. Yeah.
This whole, my least favorite thing, and they even tell you can turn this off because the new player hate it, is the time in the village feels off important.
Oh, yeah.
You know the way you could give people time, life essence, or
Yeah, but you know how I feel about stories.
yeah, it's shit. So, but that's not even part of the story. That's like a
No.
gameplay mechanic. You have to like beat a boss to then get a life essence, and make the blacksmith be still alive in the next time, or else somebody else dies.
That was the worst part.
That was stupid. Your time limit. Don't understand. It's the same like the same mechanic in Helldivers. Community player events to like stave off like this.
Yeah.
Press,
Doesn't
like
really
whatever the
matter.
hell that means. Here, I just want to play the game.
Even though the characters in the game that you actually need to keep alive, their time limit is like they'll never die. It's all these like other characters in the game that you probably are meant to die
Okay.
in a bit. Yeah,
Like-
and then they send you on these like fetch quests that you have to find something, and then like, oh no, you actually need to go. You'll get to the last door and be like, oh no, I forgot my wallet. I need to go back to the village. And then you come back again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it purposely tries to waste your time because that's a mechanic.
because that's a mechanic.
Yeah.
And then all that ends up doing is just frustrating people because it's just wasting your real lifetime.
So
Like you're just prolonging the game because you have this you have this thing that you imposed yourself, this time limit where you kill off characters if you're not fast enough, and then to make the game longer and make it seem like time is a factor, you've just put in these fetch quest time wasting like things as well to make it be like, oh no, I need to get this done, whereas none of that none of that was necessary.
yeah, exactly. Exaggerate. Like they're making it a thing for the sake of making it a thing.
Yeah,
So sort of mechanic in. Why no point? It's like a mechanic. Not
like,
really.
what would be
anything
cool?
for anything.
It'd be cool if we put in this thing where they have like a certain amount of life force and they're gonna drain out and die, and then it'd be like, oh yeah, and then like, oh, but the game is too easy. People are getting through it too fast. Okay, well, let's just like arbitrarily make it longer then. So you're just building one thing to fix the problem you made yourself.
It actually, that's dead right. It actually, that's just put on the floor. It's
Yeah.
like the type of thing that just shouldn't drop.
Yeah, because if you get rid of the life, the time limit the characters have to live, then you don't need any of the fetch quests
Yes.
and like time wasting.
That's why they
You-
even say it. Options menu.
Yeah,
That's the
You
best thing
can't-
about the game.
You actually can do that.
Yeah, as it
That
should
is
be.
that is actually game mode
Yeah.
you can do, which is
And that's
fair enough.
what
Yeah. The bosses are good and they're hard. There's like a
Yeah.
huge difficulty spike in the bosses.
The bosses.
Yeah.
Effie is gonna die.
Mary from the villages.
Yeah, you know,
Seppi.
Up at the step, he's gonna, you know,
Wheelie Joe
is gonna die, and he won't be able to give you the most important keys in the game. You know, to get you your fucking rail gun to beat the final boss. Like, nobody likes that. So,
alright, finally we had a Gumbrella as well, and this one isn't controversial because you also didn't like this.
well, I didn't play it, but I see.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's not good. You get.
What do you think of the story?
Really stupid. you have to save your daughter that you never met, and then the villain is trying to make this moral choice of like, oh, do you even deserve to be your father? And then at the end he just like turns 180 and becomes the villain. There's another villain in the game that they build up from the start, and then they like slapstick like kill them, like, and then you don't even get to fight them. They're basically like run over by a car. You're like, oh, all right. It's like this big villain. Like she comes in and like, God, I hope no one's planning on playing this. You shouldn't anyway. There's a lot of spoilers here. She like summons in like a lot of the starter game bosses. She'll come in and summon them. So you're like, oh, okay, she's like the big bad. She's like summoning in all these other things, and then coming towards the end of the game, which it doesn't take long to get there as well, because the game is only for like 5 hours long. For like 5 hours long, and then you're coming to one of the last sections in the game, and she like arrives, and you're like, oh, here we go, we're coming for like the big boss fight now. And she's just like she's just essentially just hit by some run over by a car. I might as well. And then she's just dead. She's just on the side of the road.
Don't make comedy movies like this anymore.
It's terrible. And okay, that's the jokey side of it, but the mechanics as well. It's fun for like 10 minutes, but like, yeah, there's nothing else to learn. You don't learn anything else after 10 minutes. You get different ammo types, but there's literally no incentive to use them because the shotgun's the most powerful thing in the game, and you start with the shotgun. The other ones, the ammo for them is insanely expensive. You never get enough of it either. And there's just no point in using them because the shotgun is just so powerful. You just get right up in someone's face. You can stun lock the bosses as well. So there's multiple bosses that you can just get them into a corner and just blast them with the shotgun.
Ow.
The game, yeah, you can just fly through it. I feel like the game, I've seen this in someone else's review, that it is like a proof of concept. Like, it is the game, like the mechanics of the shotgun are actually pretty cool. Like, but it just needs more abilities and skills to build on top of that. That is like the you know, using the umbrella and like floating around and then switching over to the shotgun. That is fun. Yeah, there's just you need more skills on top of it. They even have this big. You can go to a shop and upgrade the weapon, upgrade the umbrella, and it's this huge long list. And then just at the top of it, there's just 2 upgrades. So it feels like there was meant to be a lot more, but there's just 2 upgrades, and it's to upgrade the power and the fire speed. But there's this huge blank list as well, and there's just 2 things on it. You're like, I feel like this game was meant to be bigger, but they just cut a lot of stuff. Maybe.
But
yeah, I only watched you play a bit of this game, and my main gripe with it was that, the coolest thing I seen you do about the game was that the movement mechanics were really cool.
It's great.
Like, you could fly around, zip on the
floating
gun,
around the page.
float.
Yeah, it's fast as well.
It's
you can go
crazy
zip
cool.
lines or shoots you across the screen. There is, yeah.
I love that. My gripe with it is that it just looks crap. It looks just dull, drab,
brown.
Fucking the colors. It's just a brown color palette. Everything. It's sap. Like, it's just brown and pissy and sappy, and it just looks crap. Like, it's just, that's not to say it isn't amazing. Just everything is color brown. Like, there's just nothing else to it. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. Like, just the actual thematic, like, art style, the art choice in that game, color theming, not on.
Just brown.
Just brown.
I know, and you watched me finish it as well. I have no idea what happened in the ending.
Oh yeah.
It actually looked like froze.
You
or
also seem
glitched.
to zip by a lot of the talking cutscenes that might have explained why
I'm
it is
reading
they-
them very quickly.
My fucking bollocks.
I'm reading them faster than they're coming up on the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't think I'm not skipping through them. I'm skim reading them. You don't need to read them that much. Skim reading them.
Editor, cut that out.
I'm skim reading them. I'm not skipping through them. They just don't have a lot to say.
So, how many games are we at now where the story doesn't matter?
That's 8. Yeah.
Okay.
No, the floating was the umbrella is cool.
So recommend yes or no?
No.
Into the slurry pit.
Which means, there's no in between. We hate it now.
Yeah, that means it shouldn't exist in Adam's eyes. But the main game, we're finally at number 1.
Finally had it.
Yeah, we can.
We're already over our time limit.
Yeah, our self-imposed time limit, but we can zip through this if you. So what was your number 1 game then of the year?
Number 1 game of the year, and I was shocked that you didn't have it on your bonus slot, is Wasteland 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Stellar game.
This is fantastic.
Hidden
Story is
gem,
great.
actually.
Honestly, yeah. I feel like it was like, yeah, I feel like nobody, like, it's very under the radar, I feel. Yeah, it's fantastic. Everything about it. The co-op, first of all, the fact that we could play together. But yeah, the combat is great. I don't even know where to start. I wrote a crazy long review about this, but yeah, let's see. Do you want to start? I don't really know where to start with this.
So what was your favorite thing about the game? What was your least favorite part of the game? And what was your most memorable moment?
I think that you can the builds are pretty the builds are great. The weapons are great. The game doesn't really take itself too seriously either.
So how does it play?
So yeah. Why am I forgetting so much about this game? And it's my game
Your favorite game of the year, just drawing a blank. Maybe it's because the story was so good. It's just taking up so much RAM in your brain to process the story.
I'm trying to think of the game from the start, but I can't really remember because it was so much happened in it as well. So yeah, you start off, you build your squad. The character customization or the builds you can get, I think, are great. We had the psycho clown posse. So we had the melee, you could build a melee class, which I did. You had a heavy gunner with the rocket launcher at one point as well. We had a sniper, a run and gun, assault rifle character who could just run in and towards the end of the game could literally just run in and mow down and end an entire fight before anyone else got a turn. But yeah, the builds were great. The side quests and everything were also brilliant. Exploring the map, the video that we're watching right now, you could jump in your Kodiak tank and then drive around in the overworld, and you'll come across random events like this where we're attacked by a giant flaming demon goat. Yeah, just the stories were just so wild. You can clone somebody's brain into Ronald Reagan's brain into them. Yeah. The idea, the story of the game is pretty, it's just, it doesn't even really change. There's not really that many twists. You're hired to come in here to Colorado and take out the Patriarchs 3 children. Their map, their locations are set on the map from the start of the game, so you know exactly what you're doing. And then you just drive around and go from location and pick up all these wild side quests.
And this is the third game in the series.
Yeah. And then you don't even need to play any of the other ones going into this. You don't need to really know anything. The only thing that might come up are Easter eggs, but nothing before in the first. I watched a Wasteland 1 and 2 roundup video on YouTube, and it was only 10 minutes long, and they break down, and none of it ties into anything that happens in this game. So you can go into this blind. It doesn't matter. Which we did. And yeah, it's fantastic.
And it plays an old school based RPG that gives you upgrades. That you can choose different kind of class. specific kind of ability, press and fire if you're the gunner, and if you're like the RPG. Yeah, I loved it because solid, really solid, really fun to play. Combat I found for the most part quite like it's not very tactical in the likes of a game like Battle.
This is more of a blast. You
and
can.
that was the appeal.
It's simple. Yeah, it's simple. It's got like good mechanics in it, and for like you're saying with the suppress and fire and everything.
Yeah,
all that. But yeah, it's just it is. It's pretty simple. But that's all it needs to be, really. And also, it's not afraid to like take the piss. And I don't know, like it just the game allows your characters to become very much overpowered. I feel like it's just like there's no like you can go into fights and just be like just have a character who can just mow down the entire field, and it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah, I really like that as well. Part of that, you know, it's part of the game. Really big OP game, like be able to just play some and massively overpowered. And that's part of it as well, because the game itself so serious, and you can see some of like the flavor text on the items, some of the character name, some of the doing like the
piss baby sex boots,
piss baby, all of that sort of stuff. Like it's just, but that's what really
each like location as well is. It's pretty memorable outside of these random like encounters that you get, even though this one in particular that was on screen, it was that was pretty memorable as well. The hell goat, but all of the other ones, like the side quests and the locations, are like they're just as memorable as the campaign itself. We had like we saved Christmas by destroying Santa's meth lab.
That was brilliant.
It's like it's full of like all these random encounters. The Scorpitrons, coming across the massive, these are like huge like robotic scorpions with like missile launchers and a minigun attached to their tail. You can just run across them in the middle of the map.
Incredibly designed monster. Very cool. And we mentioned this at the start of the show. One of the best parts about the game, like it doesn't take itself too seriously. It in the same, and this is what we mentioned at the start, was it has incredible like Wasteland foot on the gas, and it doesn't let up. Each encounter and each area on them is an incredible set. Is very memorable. Like this is just a set piece that we came across that's very unique and distinct. For every single set piece is almost unique. Never really the same enemies, same encounter style. This is like with the Hellgoat. Then we have the Scorpitron. Then you have with the Ronald Reagan
cannibals.
Yes, the cannibals that fly the kites of human skin.
Yeah.
Then you have the insane clown.
I said it's like watching a different every location is like watching an episode of a dystopian horror show, like Black Mirror or something. Like each one is like, oh god, what are we doing in this place now? It's always something completely just so weird.
The Destruction Derby at the end of the game.
Destruction Derby,
it's just so different. And then like
the Clown
Saving
College,
Santa, the Clown College.
Is this all in one game?
Is this the same game?
Cannibal Jamboree.
But that's why it's so unique. It's a testament to the game. Like it's, I love Wastelands. And In Exile's next game isn't even a Wasteland. It isn't even an RPG. It's the Clockwork.
Oh, it's a Bioshock looking one.
The thing that looks like Bioshock Infinite. Clockwork Infinite. No, what?
Infinite.
It's Clockwork something or something Clockwork, but in Exile. It's a first-person shooter. Very interesting, but hopefully that these Wasteland games are amazing. Well, I haven't played the first and second one of them. Oh my god, a classic. Although not very out of this like outrageous.
Like
some Baldur's Gate and stuff like that, but it's still rare to find RPGs that are long form. Like this is a 60-hour game that is a co-op game. Like,
Yeah, and but also like even towards the end, well, maybe a little bit towards the end, but it was worse than other games. I feel like we still weren't really getting that. We wanted to finish it, obviously, because it's 60 hours long. But like the combat, we weren't ever really sick of it. Like every fight felt fun.
yeah, it did.
Because you can get ultimates as well. So you can it depends on which weapon you have. You can use the rocket launcher and use your ultimate combined with that, and you can fire like a nuke across the map, or torrent spray with the machine guns, and you can mow down an entire group of enemies in one. Like, like nothing about the combat ever really wore off, even towards the end.
It really didn't. And I think that was like game is that if the story, and I gotta admit, I didn't really know what was going on in this.
I love the story.
Not that I wasn't interested in the story. I just didn't really have clear. I don't think the story
was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it was
though,
straightforward,
which is
really,
fine. It didn't need to be anything else. It was just to take the 3 kids out of the equation.
Yeah, that's pretty much just. And then the main father is.
And it doesn't really change that much at all. There's
Not
no,
really.
Like,
There's
really,
just the side story and their motives and their objectives, what you'd want to do. Well, the story, sometimes I couldn't quite follow, or maybe it's. But the actual.
Are you saying you're not interested in the story?
Some stories, because I did say that about Citizen Sleeper. I was not interested in some of the, and just like fight all the time. So, and that this game's fun as we're seeing. So I thought that
You were destroyed in this fight. We actually, this was the turning point in our campaign, I think.
Yes,
we nearly lost this, and then we won, and then the weapons we got off this actually. This was when we started getting good. I say, as we literally get milled out of it and die.
Yeah, we did start getting, because this was the part at the bazaar.
Yeah,
and that is like kind of but that was incredible game. Highly recommend. This hit that sweet €7 game of the year.
Game of the year.
And then amazing. Congratulations, Wasteland. I'll get my game of the year.
2 more sections. Oh yeah.
We have a future Frother game where most sloppy.
Okay.
So
I've gotten a lot of hate for the games that I hate. So we'll go through this quickly.
And what is that game? This so-called sloppy floppy.
The worst game I played this year was Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Some might say controversial, others might say what a wise man. Now, how's the story? How's the story in this
What
game?
story? Is there a story?
Anyway, you go why you think this. I don't even need a secondary image because this is also my
your worst game of the year.
Also my
Good. I'm glad we finally agreed on something.
We finally agreed that Hades is the best game ever. And Tears of the Kingdom
that was never
is
the question.
One of the worst Zeldas ever made.
Yeah.
Outside of the Zelda CDI on PC, which is probably better than this. Fucking muck wreck from the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, okay. I'll blitz through it pretty fast.
I have a few points that I will get to very quickly.
I had 3 points on it, I guess I could say. I didn't like it because of, I broke it down to where you explore, which is the exact same map as Breath of the Wild. I'm not gonna say there's nothing different because there's the sky and there's the depths, but I feel like they don't add anything to the game. I feel like the sky is so sparse. There is one part, I'll get to that later, but like the sky, there's not really any random islands that I ever would have wanted to go to. There are ones that are tied to that were good and cool to explore, but the other ones I never really jumped on a rock just to float up to an island, because I went there once or twice and there was never anything really there to win. So I would just use them to find shrines, and then use them essentially as fast travel points just to go up high and then float my way to a different place across the map, because the map itself is just the exact same as Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So even when you look at the map at the start, you still have the Sheikah Tower things to reveal the rest of the map, but you could already
Can't believe doing those.
still doing that, still doing the tower reveal map thing.
Seriously.
Still, there has to be some other mechanic
Honestly.
for exploring maps, because God, I'm sick of towers and scaling them. But just, even if you were to look at the map, you know it's the exact same map as Breath of the Wild. So you know where all the towns are. You know where everything is, because it didn't change anything. So you don't really need a map or to reveal it. You can just look at a map from Breath of the Wild. You know where everything is. But then you have the depths as well. And I remember going down there, and the depths are cool. Like an underside, flipped side of the map above of Hyrule, but it's like dark and like full of all this like corruption. And yeah, that's cool. But I thought you just like drop down there and like try to explore it or something. But it's incredibly difficult to explore, because you need like specialized items to explore it, like the light things and all this other shit that you need to expend to go down there. So the first time I went down, I was exploring for about an hour, and then I eventually ran out of equipment to explore safely anymore, like without walking into things. So I just had to get out. I didn't find anything. I found some like fast travel point, whatever, but it was just very hard to navigate. Yeah, that was why I didn't like the map. I don't know if you have any thoughts or...
Yeah, I do. So on the
Well,
map,
go on.
I don't agree with
You liked the depths. I didn't find anything of use in them, unless there's specific missions you have to get to go down into the depths in specific areas. But I was exploring all like down in the depths and couldn't find anything.
I'll explain mine.
Okay. Yeah. How you explore. The abilities. I didn't really like the abilities.
I
compared to Breath
also
of the Wild.
don't agree.
You don't agree with this either. Okay.
But go, yeah, explain why.
Yeah, okay. So ascend, where you just like leap up to something above you. Didn't really find any use for that. Anything like you can climb a lot of things that are within range that you can use ascend. So unless they purposely make something that you can't climb, in which case it's part of a puzzle where you obviously have to use ascend. But there's no other reason that I found that you should use ascend. Like maybe a goblin camp or something, just climb up it. Like there was never really any use. I don't even really remember any of them. Fuse was the making the weapons. Yeah, fair enough. That was kind of cool. They tended to break like they still break very quickly as well though. They didn't get rid of that thing where like the weapons that you collect just break all the time. And the main thing I would use it for is the arrows, which was actually good, that you could just draw an arrow and then quickly pull open the menu, and then you could put some like random status effect onto it. That was pretty cool. You could be firing like random like anything on them. To be fair, yeah, the fuse was kind of cool. Yeah, my main gripe that I hated about the game, and I know this is what the entire game is built on, I hated Ultra Hand. Combining the building things. I hated that. I couldn't get into it.
It must have been part of the story.
Editor, cut that out.
Yeah, I hated Ultra Hand.
Right.
Everything that I had to make or do was just made so much more complicated by using Ultra Hand. And none of the things, I'm just shit at making things, but none of the things that I made ever tended to work. They would always like I'd try and make something to fly. An example would be I got to the desert, and when you get to the desert, your map gets turned off so you can't see where you're going. So I was like, oh, I'll make a platform and then I'll connect a balloon to it, and then I'll put the fire thing underneath it so that I can float up above the sand and see where I'm going, and then I'll put one of the fan things on the back of it so I can actually make like a little fucking what's it called? Zeppelin. Little air thing so I can float above the sand. It just didn't work. I think I set the thing on fire and then collapsed into the sand. And the time I spent making or no, it like ran out of battery or something. The whole thing shit itself and fell apart, and I fell into the desert anyway. And I was like, well, that was a waste of time. I could have just walked here in that amount of time. Like, also the controls for making it were just felt slow and awkward, and any objective that you needed to complete was just faster finding any other workaround than trying to build something to work around it.
Yeah.
I know some people would love almost like Lego, like they're building something insane, building these.
Yeah.
I've seen these mad like contraptions like cars and like exoskeletons you can get into and everything like that. Yeah. But like I was not spending some type of like tying into the area as well. It wasn't like this. Like all of the divine beasts, the inside looks the same, and then the bosses all look the same as well. They didn't. They were just like, yeah. These were yeah. They're like the bosses. Like what was? I think the desert one was like almost like the bug thing out of like Ocarina of Time, like the weird looking bug. Yeah, that was brilliant as well. Honestly, that's what I was gonna say. That my favorite thing about the game is the dungeons, and I just went from dungeon to dungeon. Exploring the map was a nightmare. I would just go from like the one I was saying. The only time I enjoyed being up in the sky is when you do the Rito village. Sky one, and you have to like climb all along the things, and then you have to like bounce on the ships to get above the storm.
Oh yeah,
that was brilliant.
Wait, I don't remember. You mean
up in the
press up?
Supposed to do, yeah, the sky one, the Rito village one, and there's like a tornado in the sky, and they have all the boats flying around the thing.
That was legitimately brilliant. That was a real piece.
And the boss is the dragon. Oh, sorry. The boss is the dragon that flies in and out of like portals, and you have to like fly around the arena shooting at him.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant one as well.
No, that was good.
The bosses in the dungeons were great.
The bosses were brilliant. Who didn't like the underground? The depths. Yeah. Okay. I thought for me they were second point best part of the game. I did like them. I thought that was the best part of the game. In fact, I would have gotten rid of the entire overworld.
But you're talking about sorry, I thought you were like, oh, it'd be cool if you. Yeah, sorry. The way you're saying it is that like it already is dark and you're slowly revealing it. Yeah, but you'd only reveal it with like the light.
The light bulbs or
bulb things or whatever. Yeah. But I feel like if you're laying down like the light arrow things, just make them permanent as well. I see where I'm going.
The light arrows. Oh, just have it light under.
Well, no, that kind of removes the purpose of it, I guess. But like, just have like, I don't know. It was very hard, different.
I like.
But yeah.
Here because
sense of frustration, and anger.
No, I well then, if that's the case, then just go up above and then come down. I thought that the fact that it felt like the dark zone, the twilight.
Yeah.
And it felt like this other world. That was kind of cool. That is without doubt what the foundation game is built on.
Right.
It's built to be making stuff. You literally that's the first thing you get. Like you're meant to be built.
Yeah. I thought you said you that was just for, or just building ridiculously complicated things is just for clips.
Yeah, that's just clips.
Right.
But I'm not saying that it was like one of it's my favorite part.
But isn't there, you can find a blueprint saver?
Yeah.
So in one of the towns you can find a blueprint saver, and then that saves you from having to. But why wouldn't they just have that built in automatically?
Right, so that you find that in the depths. Find that prettier.
You're supposed to find it prettier.
Yeah, because quest line. Like literally go into the depth first area, follow where you go. It's like right next to first place. But I didn't find that.
How does it tell? How does it?
40 hours in.
How does it tell you to get that? Where, like, what's the main, like?
do with
When you
the
first land, it
the
shows you.
the Yiga clan. That's that. But yeah, you. I found that I'm not sure.
And then the hole that's between you and the first village you go to, the lookout village or lookout tower or
I can't
something.
remember.
So
It
it's
is
right
very
next
close
to
to
it. That is the first hole that I went down. I was like, right, let's explore the depths, and I spent like an hour and a half. Went down that first
I don't know
hole.
if it's in that first
that's
hole.
right,
It
right.
is very kind area. I just didn't go to these areas. Going off as is out. That is my favorite, like, because I just don't think that this fun. And Tears of the Kingdom prove it's so rote, and I know you're having to. You have to have resources.
Yeah.
You can't just create them. So you gotta
Yeah.
find.
Yeah.
And I know there are stacks of road and stuff like that, but and those one or two
Your
things are like your
floaty
floating
thing,
like
or
thing.
your exoskeleton missile launcher,
I never even made
laser beam emitter.
So I only had
You know.
one of those. I was just found myself like for probably like a load of hours mess around, messing, but they were so impractical. Press you to. You might then make like a car, like and then that horse riding is redundant because the horse riding is so janky in the game. If a horse comes 20 foot within a slight slope, it'll just push you.
Yeah.
So and if it comes
goes around it,
like
it just hits it and stops, and then it's like, all right, come on,
and then clip up your way. It was so.
and that's
it's
not if
such
you're getting stuck on other things as well. Like, come on, around the
It's
tree.
such
Come
an
on.
Nintendo style open world. Like nothing is straightforward or like user friendly. Everything anti slow in the game.
They're not giving you the blueprint thing.
Not giving the beats
Yeah.
for.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Just think about Tears of the Kingdom. And
You have your
Pokemon.
iPad though.
That's a load of crap. Yeah, dump that in the river next. The Wind Waker, but
Wind
the
Waker.
whatever that was, the conductor's thing. But then something. I remember which.
Needs to go back to, because there's no like excitement now when you're like, oh, bow, bow.
Yeah, Bo was just now one of 50
It's
million.
just
you
one of
find on
50
Grand.
million. Yeah, bow plus. Goblin bow plus.
Yeah, Goblin 12 plus durability.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't.
Nothing really matters anymore.
If it wants to, the open world that they're gonna after this, because this is gangbusters, are obviously gonna go in this formula. They even said on Onuma that this is gonna this open world template and bombs and like your
Medium goblin horn,
medium
large
goblin
goblin horn,
yellow horn, white horn, the lower horn, all this. It's like that's slow. You're there in the cool.
Yeah, and you're like,
And then you're like, oh, I'll just
Yes.
game in the middle, fight to like better.
And then that ties into the rewards as well, because once you find a routine that you're used to and you're not fucking scrolling through these endless amounts of menus to try something new, you're like, oh, okay, this works. I'm not gonna fucking build a laser emitting, fire breathing truck to drive in here and kill someone, obviously, because that'll take about 6 hours to do. I'm just gonna go in there and just do my usual thing. But if you go into like a random enemy like encampment, there's nothing there. There's no good rewards, or you'll get fucking goblin sword plus. There's no rewards in any of the camps. I remember after like 2 hours, I was like, there's no point doing them anymore because I'm literally getting nothing out of them.
Well, you've actually just nailed it. I find this game so much work.
Because weapons don't break as well. Even if it doesn't go towards your build,
You
you're
can
like,
still respec.
I
You
have.
can rebuild
Yeah,
your stuff.
it's like I have
If
this.
Oh,
weapon
this
now.
doesn't.
Yeah. Come on, there's nothing because your weapons are. Yeah, the enemies are just sponges. The weapons are breakable. It's not exciting getting a new weapon. So you're like, oh, grand, this one was an extra 5 damage, and it's gonna break after a couple of swings anyway.
Also,
I'll have
they
to
don't
find
do
something to
enough
replace it.
different-
No, they don't. There's no point in even doing the enemy encampments or going to a fight that you don't even want
no,
to do,
skip it.
because you're not getting good rewards, but you're also not getting any experience.
No.
Like, you're not leveling up your sword skill or your pole arm skill or like any type of experience.
Open the chest.
It's just
20 fucking
20 rubies.
Fuck about
What the
nothing.
fucking- So you're not even leveling up. Like a skill to unlock new, like, what was it in like Twilight Princess? You could find the golden wolf or something,
Yes.
and then he would teach you new abilities and sword
guarding,
abilities,
blocking,
guarding,
spinning.
parrying, spinning. Yeah.
That in the
That's insane. That means you could easily be like, you could have like, light swords or like heavy swords or something, and then you can earn your experience towards that, and then like get these abilities like a heavy like swing around the back of somebody, like those skills that were in Twilight Princess. You could, so at least you're working towards something with like a certain type of weapon.
Absolutely.
And then obviously remove weapon durability, because then you can add in rare weapons like in Elden Ring, and then you're like, oh fuck, a cool weapon that I can get to keep forever, not like it's gonna break after 2 swings. Like, just wouldn't die. Just using endless amounts of stuff on enemies that just won't die. Just spongy, like.
And then you get
And one shot, yeah.
so hard to know. Don't like.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is our official sloppy flop of the
Absolute muck.
slop it in the sluice bin.
Absolute dreck.
Yeah, dreck. So, but round out on a good note, wailing on a game. A lot of people's favorite games. Because, well, technically, it's Adam's show. We got to Future Frother, the game we frothing over.
Jumping on
Frothing. For next. What's your frothy game that's coming out?
I hope it's coming here. It is early access, but I mentioned in my first review of Synthetic that I'm looking forward to. Synthetic 2. This is great. It's in early access. We did see some bugs in the early access, but it also does look a lot better than Synth. I do obviously it's Synthetic. But yeah, I'm hoping this is going to build on it. First, early access, we played a run and we actually crashed a boss, which wasn't great.
That's a testament to this.
Yeah,
That's
but
something
this is 4-player now, Synth 2. So yeah, that's going to be insane. We played so much of Synth, the first Synth in co-op. Now if we can get 4 people on.
I really frothed for this game. Well, it's not my number 1 frother, but it is in the. We are getting frothy milk for it. Frother. What are you grimacing at? It executes. No story. All fighting.
Shooting,
Yeah,
all
honestly,
guns.
sometimes another game doesn't have to have amazing. Good, same. Have amazing audio, good game, gameplay time. But synthetic, crisp. It's a man's game. Man's game. It is perfect. That is on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We were only very recently introduced to divers, and we had an absolute. Only in the last week we've been really getting.
Yeah.
There's a huge amount of for a lot of co-op
4-player right off the bat as well.
4-player multiplayer right off the bat. Get your gang of 4 people. Get a load of person out with a flamethrower. Friends. Back them in the head with an. Do all that good stuff.
Drop a space pod on them.
Drop one of the on them. It like with the team killing and messing. And there's a.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, there are 2 games. Helldivers Synthetic 2, and on that, I think that's it.
Done.
God, another year down. Oh my God, how long?
We set
This year?
we set a time to finish, and that was an hour ago.
Oh yeah, that's because I blame Breath of both of them. But yes, I'll be back in 2 weeks with Wendy, and she has a new segment in our games, the cozy. So she's going to be talking about all the cozy games that aren't just farming. So she has loads of different. But yeah, it was good having you.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. So hopefully we'll talk more about Tears. But on that, we'll see you in 2025. No, 24. Editor, cut that out.